If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? For I must be traveling on now, 'cause there's too many places I've got to see. But if I stay here with you, girl, things just couldn't be the same. 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird you cannot change. Oh, 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 oh. And the bird you cannot change. And this bird you cannot change. Lord knows I can't change. Oh, my baby, it's been a sweet love. Yeah, yeah. Though this feeling I can't change, but please don't take it so badly, 'cause Lord knows I'm to blame. But if I stay here with you, girl, things just couldn't be the same. 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird you cannot change. Oh, 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 oh. And the bird you cannot change. And this bird you cannot change. Lord knows I can't change. Lord help me, I can't change. Lord, I can't change. Won't you fly high, free bird, yeah. Oh, help me, I can't change. Lord, I can't change. Won't you fly high, free bird, yeah. Shallow graves and deepest knees. No one tells me why I'm here. Leather straps on stapled eyes. Got a screen to cut your ties. Can't subtract from Adderall. Pull you in before you fall. Not as sweet as it appears. Someone tell me why I'm here. Ooh, you know I'm gone. Ooh, go, I'm on to you now. All they want is your control, for the Bible scares me so. Smell the ones who came here last, must have lost the game too fast. We don't read between the lines. This side's got a hold on me. Don't try this hard for me now. The easy way, the easy way, easy way. I'm on to you now. Ooh, go, I'm on to you now. Ooh, you know I'll go. Ooh, go, I'm on to you now. Got money, I'll do anything for you.
Welcome, my friends, to Xbox Era. If you're new here, let me fill you in. Xbox Era is a platform for the Xbox community with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and of course, XboxEra.com, your destination for the best news, reviews, and features, all focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. It's every Xbox fan's gateway to the best of Xbox Era. Our incredible podcasts listened to in over 50 countries worldwide, our in-depth reviews, our own merch store for the coolest in gaming threads, and of course Day One, where you can track, rate and discuss your favourite games on Xbox Game Pass. We're a small, agile and independent publication, and importantly, we're completely funded by you. If you value having a publication truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Xbox Era is only made possible by the support of an amazing community, and in particular our legendary and growing army of Patreon supporters. Our executive producers, Top, The Scarecrow 121, Peter B, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Andau, Frankie C, Terran H, and Britt. Our amazingly generous grand benefactors who take their support and dedication to Xbox Era to another level. Krat56 and Assassin. And then there's our boss, our leader, our shining light in times of darkness, the one and only Xbox Era CEO, Torn Raptor. You guys are all fucking awesome. If you enjoy the content Xbox Era produce and want more of it, and you're not a patron, consider heading over to patreon.com/Xbox Era, pledge your support, and get cool swag in return. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 234 of the Xbox Era podcast. We're here to talk about all of the latest from across gaming, but overall we're focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. Xbox Era is a fiercely independent and community-supported publication, completely from you guys, our wonderful patrons, our YouTube community. So big shout-outs to our executive producers, our wonderful grand benefactors, Krat56 and Assassin, but of course, our exemplary CEO, Torn Raptor. No Nick this week, so I'm joined by the lovely Ursel, aka Soul Blazers. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. My hair's a mess today, so I got like my official podcast hat on.
Too.
Yeah. I'm growing my hair out again, so it's in that phase where it just looks terrible for like a few months. But yeah, now I got the official podcast to get up, right? Now I just gotta say a couple of latest remarks, and I'll be right in.
And we've got the review machine, as noted in several community questions this week. Jesse, how you doing, bro?
A little tired, not because of working but because I fell asleep around midnight last night, woke up at 8, was going to get up, went back in bed and snuggled the wife and passed out until 1 p.m.
Oh, dang.
So I slept way too much today.
Your body was like...
Yeah,
Well, I haven't been missing sleep. Like, I get 8 hours every night. That's actually
that
one
must
of
have
the
felt
nicer
terrible
things.
waking up.
It
at
did.
1 p.m.
I've felt like shit all day just because I slept way too long. If I go above 10 hours, it's real bad. So I'm very tired, but the content keeps flowing, which I'm sure we'll get into. By the way,
It does. It does.
I snuck in Extra Life little bar down there, letting people know next
Extra Life?
Saturday, all day long.
Party next Saturday? Oh,
On this channel, November 2nd, we are part of Team Giant Bomb because they've been doing it for like a decade plus, and they're huge. So we're part of that, but our donations all go to the Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital of Clearwater, Florida, who definitely need it after all the hurricanes lately.
yeah.
I've put up some game incentives. There's 4 big old games in there that you can jump in, give a donation, and get sent a nice little code. Just know, if you do it anonymously, it's really goddamn hard to figure out who you are and send you something. So if you do redeem an incentive, please just at least tell me your email or something so I can send it to you. But yeah. Other than that, doing real good overall.
Us old greybeards, apart from you, so you don't count. You're a young whippersnapper.
I'm getting there though, man. I'm back in university this semester, and everyone around me, because I'm taking some first year courses, are like 19.
I've seen you complaining about some of their work quality this week.
Dude,
Phil with 2 L's.
what? Xbox One with the number 1?
Pain. It's pain. I'm in pain. I've done something like, and it's you know, like when you pull a muscle in your neck and then you spend all day being Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I did that like a week and a half ago, and then it got better, and then it got worse again. And I'm like, whoa, this is the wrong way around. So I'm feeling a bit miserable, to be honest with you. I'm a bit like, everything hurts, aches. But hey, I have been playing some really freaking great video games. I wasn't here last week, so we'll dive into, and I'll include a little bit from last week because I can talk a little bit about it. What we've been playing, video game wise. Sorry, I heard hissing and it was fun.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
Everyone's always makes noise the moment I start to show up.
Are you doing something, honey? Clang, smash. You know, it's the way of things. It's the way of things.
That's the kitchen. It's right there. The sink.
Is that a person?
Yeah, it's my wife.
It is a person.
Yeah, I mean that's the kitchen.
It looked like her ponytail looked like a tie. Like it just looked like a figure ready for Halloween.
Yeah, if you go about 7 feet, that's where that sink is, which is why it always comes through the microphone so clearly.
Yeah. Huh. But yeah, it's been a week. It's been a couple of weeks for gaming. I wasn't here last week. It was a fun show you guys had last time. Very, very many thanks to the wonderful Kay Asante for.
It was a very handsome show.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you've got Kay on, I mean, elevated way beyond.
We've met him in person. We know.
Australian.
Yeah,
he's not just photogenic. He's a handsome man.
He is a very handsome man. Not impossibly handsome, but handsome. This isn't Claire Obscure. So we've been playing. This week.
So I've been pretty busy overall in terms of back to school, part-time work, blah, blah, blah. A lot of my free time, most of my free time has been digging into the Dragon Age series. I'd never played the games before, or actually I played one like 5-6 years ago and the combat was way too hard for me. And I'm like, I'm out. This is dumb. So now I've played through one. I've played through one's DLC. I've played through 2. I've played through 2's DLC. And I'm now probably like 60% through Inquisition. And if anyone in chat watching this has never played the series, play it. They're great games. Now, the first game is I feel weird saying it's in a class of its own because it had the benefit of being allowed to be simple in certain ways, like small maps and things like that. But like the choice branching, the sheer freedom in what you can do and like the crazy consequences of your decisions, very few games match those, I feel. And I think it's largely because these days games are so big and levels are so big and things are so big that if you want to have that same freedom, it's a much harder task than before. But other than that, I've been playing Inquisition. I like it. It's pretty good. Takes a little while to get going though. And of course, a little bit of Black Ops 6, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
No, we're going to talk about Black Ops 6, but we'll maybe put that in a little.
We can leave that for the end.
A little.
That'll be the last one.
I have been playing. Many thanks again to Chaos Ante. Animal Well came to Xbox. Thank you, partner.
Yeah, you
preview.
tried it?
I snagged the code for it in our usual idea Xbox drop, and oh god, it kind of sinks its teeth in, and then doesn't really want to let you go. I haven't. I've probably played about 2 hours or so far, and it's really good. Like, it's genuinely a fantastic game. There's no story. It's a very Nick game. Like, it's a Metroidvania, but it's got some really unique ideas that
So it's more Metroidvania than like Tunic, as in like exploring puzzle, or is it more like Tunic? Like?
Yeah, it's Metroidvania, the classic Metroidvania map.
Okay.
And you find different gear. And at the moment, from what I understand, is I'm collecting eggs to fill an egg thing. I'm not been told this, but as I'm finding eggs, there's a door with 4 egg symbols on, and it seems like it'll open once I find it. I've found 3 of the eggs.
It is a game. It's heavily focused on meta puzzles that aren't obvious at first.
Yes, and this is what I was really enjoying. So first you get some firecrackers, and they can scare off some enemies and stuff. Then you get a slinky, and I'm like, what the heck? And then it gives you these puzzles where you can drop the slinky through platforms that you can jump up. But you, unlike most Metroidvanias where you can drop down, you just press down and you just drop. You can't. Once you've gone through, you can't go back, but the slinky can. So you're working out how to drop it in certain ways, so it will slink down and press switches for you.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm just like, and it's starting to be like as it expands. It's also got some really freakiness, and I can't believe how small that game is. It's tiny,
like size.
Yeah, it's less than 100 meg or something. It's genuinely, and I'm like, this. It's got a really unique retro art style, but it doesn't feel retro in some of the stuff.
Yeah, I think it's only 30 megabytes on Steam. That's the whole thing.
Wow,
that's insane.
Wow,
that's insane.
I hope it does well on Xbox.
I'm frustrated though, because I've got my ROG Ally, and it's like, this is a perfect handheld game.
It's not playing yet.
Well, no, there's no PC Xbox version, so I haven't got 2 copies. So I could buy it again on Steam, but then I'd have to replay everything. And you
can just find their PR and say, "Hey, could I get a Steam code?" And they normally say yes. That's what I do all the time.
But you don't want to play the game again.
I could, but I don't. This is
don't be lazy.
When I've played so many games of that play anywhere vibe of like dot between device, when I start to encounter stuff that doesn't do it, I'm just like, ugh. But hopefully, it's going to be one of those games that goes into the list of things that you can play on cloud that you own. It
feels like a step backwards. Every time I play a game that's not playing anywhere, I'm like, dude, what is this? It's 2024. Are you kidding me here? Like,
I mean, I get it. You don't want to give 2 copies away for the price of 1, but it irks me. Inscription is another game that I would wholeheartedly recommend anyone play.
How far into the game did you get? Did you actually let the game come out?
Yes. Don't say anything else other than
I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that is great if you don't know anything about it. Just
I played the game. I bought it on PlayStation a while back. I think it was on PS Plus. And I played for like an hour and a half ish, and I would kind of just thought it was
enough.
Okay,
it's not
enough, right?
No,
okay.
What you see is not what you get. Early on, it's one thing, but there's way more to it than you realize, and it's brilliant. So
my issue was with the gameplay. I wasn't feeling the cards.
Yes, you're fine. You keep playing. Get through that.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved the design of the and working out how the different cards worked, because it's not. But there's puzzles, without spoiling anything. There are things you can get up from the table.
Yes, I did a little bit of that, and I was really confused.
Right, and there's things to uncover and little things to work out.
Okay.
And the more you uncover, and then
it's incredibly clever.
Fortunate enough to beat the guy, something happened, and I happened to do it when I had the guys down, and I got to this point, and we all went, "What the fuck?" And then we.
Okay, I'll play it.
It's a very clever game that's more than you would think. It's not a deck building roguelike.
Yeah, see, I went in expecting like Slay the Spire, and I'm like, this is not Slay the Spire.
No, it is a directed, 10-hour experience or so. Like, it is just you're playing through in a specific pattern. You start with this card game. That's it. Yeah. From there, the rest you want to find out yourself.
Speaking of plot twists or whatnot, when things happen, you guys played Returnal? That one got me pretty bad. I didn't expect it. I'm like, that's a great game, but the best PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Yeah, not anymore. It's on PC.
Yeah.
Really good game. Really fun. Looks great. I didn't love it as a roguelike. It
Yep,
missed
terrible
some of those
roguelike elements.
Yeah, not a good like the roguelike stuff. I don't think added though. It makes a ton of sense story wise. They just didn't. I didn't get that amazing build feel like you get in Dead Cells.
Upgrade your guns enough that like there is a difference in your runs, but like the
Just
first
it's not a great
runs,
carrot.
Yeah. First 15, 20 runs, I felt like, am I even making a difference? But it's fully co-opable, which is awesome.
What Returnal is?
Yeah, fully co-op. I
cool.
played through it.
Yeah, they added that in.
Fun. Co-op can make an average game a good game.
Agreed.
I'm just seeing Tim Purr in the chat. I got to the point where it changed, and wow. So I presume he's talking about Inscription.
Yeah.
They are.
You guys got me curious. I got to play this thing. Damn.
Yeah, honestly, I was not expecting it at all, and no one that was watching, they were like, "Oh, I'm really loving the mechanics
The
of
vibes
the card game," and then all hell broke loose, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And then you're like figuring things, and then it just changes. Yeah, I was
I got to play this. I will play this.
The frustrating thing is all of this stuff's arriving at once. So I've got like, okay, I'm like, I've done a bit of Animal Well, and I've got to a certain point and beyond in Inscription, and I'm like, okay, I need to take a step back and pick one and finish, and then do the finish.
Inscription's
the other one.
not long. I'd go with that one.
Okay, and then I need to play more Black Ops, which again we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah. Especially as like Game of the Year approaches. Like this is now like that crunch period where like, holy crap, 2024 games, I gotta go.
Yeah, they're both roughly 10 hours. Whichever one you're more into, I'd say just stick with that. They're both about 10 hours long, unless you really get stuck in Animal Well.
It's entirely possible. There is some
like me in the Alan Wake DLC.
I do love a good puzzle, and I also like that. And I didn't get to talk about it last week, but yes, I happened to have an assignment when you kindly covered for me Thursday on Headlines last week, because I was at Marshall College. I was at Marshall College playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Dang.
And I can't say anything about the game until you guys watch my lovely premiere, probably. At some point, if we're allowed to say the exact time.
Everyone has literally said it's the 29th.
Yeah.
Yes, 29th, but I don't think they've said the time. So I'm going to check that. If I am allowed, I'll premiere it. If not, well, 29th. You can look forward to a
2 premieres this week. Wow.
Review.
Busy week. Videos.
I'm excited to talk about it. But Bethesda put on a good show, right? They transformed this old school London building, like built in 1890 or something, into a facsimile of Marshall College, which is the college that Indy teaches at in Raiders and Last Crusade and all of that jazz, right? So it looks really, really cool, and they had all of these like old-timey props from the 1930s and 40s there. It was neat. It was
there were 2 events, right? There's one in UK and one in
there was loads. They did one in New York, I think Boom went to. I think they did some in Seattle or LA or wherever.
They're putting money into this marketing, dude. Yeah.
I mean,
when you work with Disney, I don't think you're allowed to not.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, we got a look at the handheld, the premium edition. Gotta look at the handheld. That's an exclusive that didn't happen. Premium edition was all out on the table. We got to take some like pictures of that. They had a limited edition console in like a puzzle box, and you had to figure out symbols and then open it up, and you could see this gold idol style Series X. It was an interesting event, and it was cool to meet face to face some of the folks that we've been interacting with at Bethesda for the last couple of years now. And I got to meet the dude from Machine Games with the really long hair.
Oh, really?
Who was in the kind of video that we saw.
Yeah.
Not the dude with what I like to call the crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes.
Like,
no.
Hi, everyone. And I'm like, but yeah, he was very nice. And I didn't get to do an interview, but I briefly spoke to him because like a SWAT, I sat at the front of the class in Marshall College.
Right.
And I was just like, hey, you nervous?
Hey, John. You want to shut up for a second?
Yeah, maybe.
Torn Raptor has just donated $150 to the Xbox Era Extra Life charity drive, which it gets us really close to 500 and secures. I don't know. I guess I'm doing like 15 giveaways during that stream now. Because if you look on that page, you can see every single time it pops up, and there's a little thing every 25 to 50 bucks. I'm going to do a giveaway. But holy crap. Thank you so much for that donation. John, please. Continue.
Yeah, mate. Tom Raptor, Ultimate CEO, generous to a fault, one might say.
Is there a link to the the page in the description of the video?
I'll add it to the description. I got it pinned in the chat right now.
Oh, pin in the chat. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we also have a lovely super chat from Jimmy Yandel, who says, "What do you think of Gene Park writing that Lego went to PlayStation for Lego Horizon and not the other way because the tall neck Lego sold so well?"
Yeah.
I mean,
No, makes sense.
cool. I'm curious as to how much success Horizon as a franchise actually has ahead of it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's
Yeah.
weird? What is weird about that game is it's literally the story of Horizon Zero Dawn.
What, Forbidden West?
No, Lego Horizon Adventures is literally a retelling of the story of the first game. It's coming out
As they're
2
also
weeks.
releasing.
It's coming out 2 weeks after the remaster of the first game. So within 2 weeks, we're getting that story twice when we've already gotten it 2 times before,
Like,
between the base and the extent, like definitive edition. I don't know.
I'm not one to criticize too harshly, right? Like, I think we've all seen. I think Microsoft is particularly guilty of this. Is if an IP doesn't work straight off the bat, then they'll just, that's it. You had your shot, and they won't give it a sequel most of the time. But Horizon, it did okay, and then it got a sequel, and then it's got a remaster.
People are going to yell at you. Horizon did amazing, selling
It was a
27 million copies. Doesn't matter why.
It was a bundle with the
it
console.
sold 27 million copies. That's all that people will talk
It
about.
wasn't
So
just the bundle. It was also I bought it on sale twice, I think.
yeah, it was in the era they went cheap super quick.
Oh, okay. Well,
extremely cheap.
to prevent people laughing at me, I don't know. I've just never seen people be like, "Woo, yeah, give me more Horizon." And I just find it strange that it's getting.
I think it's done well enough as an IP. It just seems to be pushed incommensurate to how big it actually is.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good.
It's
That's a
like
much
it's
better
something
way of putting
they
it.
want to be really big, but like, is it really big?
Yeah, that's the question. That is the question. Yeah, and outside of those things, obviously been playing Black Ops a fair amount. What about you, Jess? We've been playing
Too much, as most would know. Well, I'll go with first was one where I seem to be in the minority of having not enjoyed it. That's why we always say go get more opinions than just us. Also,
Yeah.
Ursel. It popped right up. Thank you so much with the
Nice.
donation of $45 to the Extra Life charity drive. We're now over halfway to our goal, which is funny because the stream's not till next week. But that's awesome because
I was going to buy the DLC for Starfield anyway, and I'm like, hey, I can just do this and donate.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm not donating enough into the stream to make you feel like
Yeah.
you're accomplishing on the day. Otherwise, you get there, I've hit my target, and just
So funny enough, we've hit the thing. I will get another one of these. We've broken 500 every year, so I always get one of these. If we break
Nice.
$1,000, I'll get another gold one. But yeah,
That's
Woo.
cool.
go back straight. My OCD, go straight. There we go. So this is number 4 as well. But yeah, so one of the main things, the first thing I did this week, after Dragon Age has actually been done for like a week. That is premiering Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. It will be 1080p low bit rate as a premiere. We don't get the 4K stuff that Microsoft does. It'll immediately go to 4K afterwards, after 19 minutes, because that's how long that video is. Would have been longer if I could talk more openly, but no spoilers. No spoilers. Very, very important, because some people are just going to do that even though they're not supposed to. So that is Monday. The first thing I did once I was done with that, and it was just something I had to do late because it did not come in early, was Alan Wake 2, The Lake House, which I hated, but a lot of other people really like.
Yeah, you were a bit of the outlier on this one.
I am. So I ended up giving it a 5 out of 10. Wasn't the biggest fan. I freaking loved the base game. Gave it a 10. Really liked Night Springs. I think I was at 8.5 on that. I don't remember. I've done like 20 since then or more. I think I've done like 50 since then, now that I think about it realistically. I'm one away from 300. That last one is going to be Slitterhead, most likely. So cool. I did not like the Lake House DLC. It was I did not like the level design or the way the puzzles worked. And we couldn't get it early because it's DLC, much like Black Ops 6 is Metro, and that makes it a pain in the ass, Metro, to give people early access. It was kind of like a mix of Control, but with Alan Wake 2 gameplay. And I didn't like the way some of the puzzles were set up. I didn't like the fact that, so there's 5 floors of this building, and you have keycard 1, security level 1. I just didn't realize, it's on me, I said it in the review, I didn't realize security level 1 literally gets you both the first and second floor.
Oh, it's not American flooring?
It's not like, okay, you've got security level 1, you can go to level 1, kind of like, because there's security level 2 doors that you need the second card for. But that security level 1 gets you to 1 and 2, and then 2 gets you to 3 and 4.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize the buttons light up when you scan the card, but I didn't realize that. I missed it. It is on me, but it really pissed me off because I wasted like 45 minutes. I beat the whole thing in about an hour 45. I got stuck twice, once for half an hour and once for 45 minutes. I could have beaten that in about 45 minutes, and I read almost everything I found. So I know people are saying like they spent, like Moro said he spent like 5 hours in it. And
I read that too.
I don't know.
Maybe you're just better at games than other people, Jesse.
I died plenty too, because like there are enemies that are completely invincible, and also it's going for the horror aspect of things, which is you have very limited ammo and heals. So in the last fight, I literally just turned on invincibility because I was stuck in that fight with being one hit, and and I got right to the end of the fight without getting hit once, and then something just flew off screen and killed me. I was like, I give up. I was at the end. I could have had it, but she fucking telekinesed something at me.
I feel you. And I feel like one thing people should take into consideration as well is when reviewers are playing a game, they have a deadline to beat it too, right? Like when an average guy is just playing a game, it's whatever, I can play in my free time, it's doing its thing. When you have a limited, in Jesse's case, literally as fast as possible because the game's out, didn't have an embargo, anything that's even a minor inconvenience that makes you stuck or waste time, it just gets elevated in terms of how annoying.
And you try and move past it and not let, like, I try to realize this is not how everyone's going to play it. But just on the whole, it didn't hit for me. It has hit fine for others. I think it's around like a 7.5 or so on OpenCritic. It's okay. It's not terrible, but it wasn't for me as someone who freaking loved everything else Alan Wake 2.
As much as I loved Alan Wake 2, I'd have assumed like the major DLC for the game, which I considered this one to be, would be better, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and Night Springs was amazing. Like Night Springs was just hopping through the Remedy verse in a ton of different ways and really cool.
What else have you been playing, Jesse? Anything else?
The other thing that I've streamed a lot was the shockingly fun Batman Arkham Shadow, which unfortunately we did not.
Good things about this.
Yeah.
I'll say it like this: Batman Arkham Shadow is an incredible take of a regular game in VR. They made this VR game feel like Arkham in the best way, but it's not the sandbox of VR that Half-Life Alyx is. So Half-Life Alyx, everything's interactable. It's like this physics sandbox and focused on that. Batman Arkham Shadow is focused on feeling like Batman in a world that otherwise it's not interactable unless it's a part of like a puzzle or something. So
that makes sense.
If you're going in with the expectation like there's boxes there, I can pick them up and move them, you can't. It's a really good take of an Arkham game in VR. It is not VR becoming Arkham, if that makes sense. Because so much of the best VR has been physicsy, crazy fun times, but that does not translate into cool looking melee. So the melee in this game is set. Like you get circles on people to jab, you get arrows to uppercut, you get down arrows to fist.
Like almost like a rhythm game in the game.
Yeah, so it's making you look and feel cool like Batman. You don't have freedom outside of the specific moves you want to use. So like, I'm going to use the cape, I'm going to stun him, and then I'm going to punch like a goddamn maniac. The entire time, because you can hit him like 15 times and kill him, then you get your moves. It's extremely Arkham. It looks shockingly good for being on a mobile. It's a mobile game essentially when it's in a Quest.
It's a Quest 3 exclusive, right?
It is a Quest 3 exclusive. You can sideload it to a Quest 2 where it runs okay at lower settings, but crashes a ton. So you can make it work, but it's also loses your save constantly. So not
I gotta
good.
get a 3 one day. Flip.
3's great. It's a great bit of kit. I really do.
3S too.
I watched a bunch of you streaming it. I've watched Ian Higton over at Eurogamer playing through it, I think, as well. And it generally has the vibes of everything I'd expect in a full-fledged, full-fat Arkham release.
Yeah.
And I thought the coolest touch was that when you're flying in, like you do that.
Yeah, you put your
shadow, the classic bat shadow appears,
no matter
to
what.
give you an indication of where you're. It's such
that's cool.
That is a beautiful design implementation, but also giving like something back to fans that are like, I am the bat. You know,
and
like,
even if there's no light behind you, you always have that shadow in front of you.
Yeah.
And so
it's a really cool decision.
Yeah, your move for pulling out your cape to glide is you take both controllers, you put them under your armpits, grip, and then move your arms out like you're pulling your cape. Whenever you're going to go into detective vision, you put it up to your head, you hit the trigger, go into detective vision. Your batarangs on your chest, your grapple gun's just an A press whenever you're looking at something, and your aiming is always looking. It's not moving your hands. It's like where you're looking, then you just toss it. But sometimes you have to like reach up over your head and toss it because it's got to go over a thing. So it's a really smart VR implementation of Batman's moves in what otherwise is an Arkham game.
Does it have any hand tracking support or no? Is it the controllers only? Because I know Quest 3 has some finger tracking. Quest 2
does, but I think there's too many.
They don't put them in the game. There are finger tracking games, but not. They generally don't do it in the actual like gameplay ones. You're always using the controllers.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And yes, I forgot to change the nameplates.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention is I started playing a little bit of Echoes of Wisdom. It's a fun game, but it's also kind of repetitive. I kind of expected more. I'll be honest.
One of the main things I've seen is people just are when you're jumping between all the echoes, it can be a pain in the ass.
Yes,
too long.
Nintendo never, like at least Zelda games have never had good UI ever. Actually, maybe like the original ones might have had decent ones. Both the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom games have terrible UIs. This game kind of falls in that same example. I don't know. Maybe people need to complain more about it. I'm just saying.
No, they just give them never-ending money. But the other big one, which we can all talk about, I think, was Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Much like Alan Wake 2, no embargo, just jump on it, get on it as quick as you can. So and by the way, Alan Wake 2 did. Yeah, Alan Wake 2 did infinitely more clicks than the first DLC because I made sure to get it out right away. Yeah. Did the same with this. It was a nice 14-hour work day because we started with headlines and getting that ready and then going into, and it was I started the day at 9 and ended at 11. So however long that is. But yeah, I had the article done and out at 10 p.m. because I played through from like 11:30. It was about 8.5 hours I did on the campaign. I tried to find every secret I could. I got the house secret done and all that. Yeah. Really enjoyed it. There's a really nice variety to that campaign in a lot of ways.
Genuinely.
I also wish I had turned off the fidelity CAS, the sharpening thing, and motion blur because the game does look a lot better on console without them on. It just shimmers like a mother when they're on. Also looks amazing on PC at 120, but I know I'm not allowed to play PC because people yell at me if I review it there.
You played the whole thing on Xbox. Nice. Okay.
I played the whole campaign on PC in ultrawide.
You know why I played it on Xbox too? I bought.
You don't hate the patrons?
Another Elite 2 because it's just the best controller. I've tried everything except for the Razer Wolverine 3. Dude. I had to go back to it because these paddles are so much easier to use than every other paddle.
You have to try, and for anyone in chat who's serious about first-person shooting games, the Game Sir. This is not a sponsored post. And I'll tell you right now, it just magically made my aim better in Halo. Like significantly.
Hall effect sticks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the one advantage.
Shout out Vinny13, who is a big fan of the game, sir.
Yeah.
One of our patrons. And
in Windows 11, you can get it to like you can overclock the controller itself, which I don't know people did, but apparently people do that. And you can overclock it a lot. So it apparently makes a really big difference in your latency. Or so people say.
Yeah. The Call of Duty campaign, awesome. I haven't touched multiplayer or anything, so you guys can talk about that after. But it is a very diverse campaign. It's got a lot of people mad that there is one open level, which is just a big old Warzone map style level where you've got a ton of objectives. You can go and do them as you want. I really liked it. I liked
It was
getting in
really
the car.
cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like, it wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. I beat it in about an hour and 10 minutes. One
Yeah.
level. That happened a couple times, too, where levels were very long. I think John's with me in that the variety's cool. The freaking Skyrim-like dialogue sections were weird but cool. Where it zooms...
very cute.
you-
Oh, it zooms in into your
yeah, you zoom in, you're talking to someone, and you have dialogue choices. And
Oh,
you
you
can-
mean like this? Yeah. What
Yeah.
the heck?
yeah, it's just it is a very feature complete, diverse Call of Duty entry in a way that last year's obviously wasn't. 'Cause
Treyarch, bro.
we're going to see
Oh,
next
no,
year
Treyarch.
because, as I mentioned in the review, the rumor for next year's COD is a slightly future Black Ops title from them that is
Another Black Ops game?
expand alone, like Modern Warfare 3 was. So we'll see what that's like. Story definitely leaves off a bunch of stuff. It answers a ton, leaves off with more questions, especially about with the main character.
Do you
But
switch
yeah.
characters in the campaign, or do you play the
You
same one?
occasionally change during
Yeah.
one mission specifically. You're almost always case, but in the casino mission, you control everyone as you're doing this various jobs.
It's really cool because like you do a heist,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to spoil the plot, but you do a heist
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
sorts.
it's in the trailers. Yeah.
And yeah, you as it really dynamically, you'll go and interact, or there'll be a handover, like a key card or something, and then it will hand off the character, and then you'll be embodying the next
Yeah, like
person
I'm-
in the queue.
I'm playing Marshall
very-
here.
Like Driver 3.
Yeah,
Or
it
Dark
was
Side
very
of the-
smart. It was very smart.
That's really
Um,
cool. Thanks.
I'm conscious, and I just realised I missed it because we were talking about Alan Wake and video game DLC and stuff, and I just want to
Oh,
kind of
yes.
I just want to kind of throw it in there because we had a community question from Jesse Brother around video game DLC,
Ooh.
and he says, "Happy podcast
We'll get to it.
234, Mr. Door." Who's Mr. Door?
Alan Wake, right? Or Quantum Break?
I don't know.
Yeah, Mr.
Alan Wake
Doors
too.
from Alan Wake.
Alan
There
Wake
you
2.
go.
Yeah.
I
Sagas-
haven't finished Alan Wake 2.
Dead.
On the subject of Alan Wake
Word?
2, I finally spent some money on the DLCs for that amazing game in anticipation of the Lake House, and the first DLC, Night Springs, was freaking hilarious and so fun to play through. The Lake House isn't quite as good, though I did like it more than my brother did, which is a rarity for us. I'm usually the picky one, and Jess is the annoying brother who likes, defends almost everything. Slander.
Yeah, I get yelled at so much for not liking everything.
Which brings me to this week's question for Jess, Ursel, and the previous part-timer John. What's a game you wish you had some or some more DLC that you could play more of it? Perhaps Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, seeing as how it won't get a sequel. And for that, my condolences to the current part-timer Nick. Oh, and John, I rewatched The Abyss and I realised that along with Terminator T2, it was not only one of James Cameron's few good films, but it's easily his best film that involves the ocean. Sorry, Titanic. Or Aliens. Screw you, Avatar movies and Aliens.
I'm halfway
I mean-
through The Abyss. It's been good so far.
It's an amazing movie. It's in my top 5.
Dang.
of all
Just
time. I
the
just love
film
it.
craft just continuously surprises me. I'm like,
Mhm.
how did he film
This was
Oh,
filmed in 1989.
Yeah.
They tortured the crew.
crap.
Yeah, the crew were tortured and the
I don't
actors
think I-
hated him and nearly drowned, but it was worth it.
Was
Games
it?
we
I don't
wish had
remember
more
that movie
DLC.
doing great. I mean, it was
I
worth it
think
for
it
us
did
who
okay.
liked it, but yeah.
It did okay.
His really bad movies like Titanic and Avatar are the ones that really took off,
I'm really quick.
unfortunately.
Director's cut or like theatrical cut? Does it really matter?
The
I don't
newest
mind
release
either,
is the
but
best
the-
looking one, I think,
the-
overall.
I mean,
The
I have
best-
the 4K disc and it has both cuts on it.
The best
I'm like,
the cut where the tidal waves come up and stop.
I
And
think
if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, just carry
I
on.
don't. I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Sorry.
Back to the question.
Yeah, DLCs. Favorite games you wish had a DLC where they didn't, or one where they did. and you wanted
Halo Infinite.
more.
Oh, that's an easy answer. I don't know why I didn't even think of that.
That is an easy answer.
Oh, no, you didn't spoil me, Trav. I'm good. I'm still watching.
Games I wish there was more of Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That is one game. Like
It's very hard to go back to Metroidvanias and remember how they work. I actually had that problem with Prince
Yeah.
of Persia for its DLC.
I was watching Nick play a bit. It was a great DLC, man.
$5, 4 hours, really fun. It's got some very obvious cutting room floor, don't work perfectly mechanics, especially like that eye chasing you is not fun in the last fight. The last of 3 times it does it, you have to like fight and go through like a 2-minute long or 5-minute long section without ever being touched, or you go all the way back.
Oh, that's annoying.
It's very annoying. It's not fun hard. It's just frustrating, time wasting hard. Other than that, it's great. And the last boss is okay, not great.
Metroidvania's DLC work best when you're playing the game after the DLC's been released, and you can kind of play it.
Yeah,
Like
I
Hollow
just
Knight, yeah.
Like Dead
For me,
Cells right now.
Yes.
Will of the Wisps was just one of those games where I was like, everything. I loved everything about it.
One of the best games ever made, honestly.
Start to finish, it was just. It
Imagine
looked,
if
sounds.
the rail cart sections that was in the trailer.
I know, and I was like,
Thank God it wasn't DEI or woke. He would never allow that now, according on his Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I really do hope they fix up No Rest for the Wicked because there should be something there. I was pretty generous in my early review of it. I do think it like as great as Ori 1 and then Ori 2 was just amazing. I'm really curious what No Rest for the Wicked becomes because it already seems dead in early access. There's like 20 people playing it most of the time.
Tricky.
And it's that weird, we're going to make an action RPG that's not focused on loot and is like a Souls-like combat-wise, but everyone's very fast and you're very slow, so it's just more frustrating than fun.
When I read this question, my initial response was, what are the best DLCs I've played? Right? And to be honest, a lot of them are from Software. They consistently make fantastic DLCs. I kind of wish Dark Souls 2 had more. Like, I love Dark Souls 2 DLCs. Some of the best content they've ever made.
I think it's some of the best DLCs ever.
100%. Really, it is. But I'm also thinking of other things. Like, God of War Ragnarok is an okay game. It's like an 8 out of 10 for mine. But Valhalla, like the free DLC they released, I genuinely wished they put more time into it and charged me $20-$30 for it. Because it had the bones of a fantastic game. Like, it elevated the entire experience by so much. Nick, I know you're in the chat. You really got to play this game, man. You got to play Valhalla if you like God of War Ragnarok.
Nick's in the chat going, how does anyone know what's going on in a COD story? I'm like,
we
not skipping the cutscenes.
It's not hard to keep. There might be bad stories that can be harder to keep up with, but like actually keeping up with the story itself when it's well done isn't difficult at all.
Halo 3 was hard to keep up with the story. I'll be completely honest. I had to play that game 3 or 4 times to figure out what was going on at some points. I mean, I was a kid, but still, like. And
you probably played that when you were like 8 or something, right?
Like 10 or 11. It came out when I was
fuck off.
No, my bad. No, it came out when 11. I was 14. I was 13 or 14. All right,
that's ridiculous. God, I feel old.
But Sekiro really needed DLC. Honestly, like that game, would have killed it. But what about you, John?
Yeah.
Oh, you already said Ori. Jesse, what about you?
I did.
I said Halo.
Oh yeah,
he had his answer.
Oh my God, Nick, finish Ragnarok, then play Valhalla, dude. What the heck?
He doesn't finish anything.
But anyway, we're back onto the subject of Black Ops. So I just wanted to get that one in there because it was relevant and I missed the chance. And we'll use the lovely Linda Ferguson, who's dropped a $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, saying Black Ops 6 is hard, but I've done it on veteran. Well done. What do you think of the campaign? What do you think of the campaign? I really want to know what we think of the campaign.
Well, I've said what I think. What do you two think?
I have not started it at all.
There you go.
Yet.
That's what you think.
Okay. Well, we'll try not to get too spoilery, but there are some specific stuffs that I've seen pulled out here.
Was it memorable, John? Is what I'm curious.
I don't think I would ever describe any COD.
No,
it's
memorable.
Not memorable in the way of like all gillied up, or not memorable in that way.
Like Modern Warfare, when the first ship starts sinking, that's still a core memory of mine. You know what I mean? First level.
Yeah. I would say
there are memorable moments for sure.
There are bits in there, but nothing for me came to those kinds of moments that kind of.
Modern Warfare 2, when
you're also a lot older now, and it's a lot more for those moments to hit. And I think a lot of people always ignore that.
Yeah.
Like there are huge set piece moments that will be very memorable for people that were your age back then.
Yeah. There are some big set piece moments. I was not happy that it did lead into horror elements, because as we all know, if you're a fan of the Xbox Era podcast, you'll know that I don't dig horror as a genre particularly, but I definitely don't dig being chased by things. And COD Black Ops 6 snuck up on me.
Really? Huh?
Yeah, there's a full-on
snuck
zombies
up on me in a very, very like, hey, we're gonna fuck you up kind of. And I was like, this is not okay. and there was lots of like, I don't like being chased, and I just
What
had to get through
difficulty
it.
were you playing on? Normal, right?
I played on normal.
Normal.
Yeah. There was a time when I would jump into veteran campaigns on COD because they'd give a shed ton of achievements for finishing it all. But for your first time through, like I just wanted to enjoy the intention of here is a blockbuster ride as opposed to push up, checkpoint, push up, you know, and that becomes the focus. But I agree with Jesse's estimate. I think it's probably of the COD campaigns I've played in the last few years, definitely up there. I loved the safe house element where between missions you'd go back to this kind of the Rook, and it looks great on PC. You know,
like a home base kind of.
Yeah, like a home base, and you can do like Assassin's Creed style upgrades to different bits.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you got three ways you go. Thankfully, the game bugged out for me near the end, and a $1,000 safe gave me 10 billion. So I had a 10 billion $300, and I bought every upgrade and got that achievement. But yeah, it's their most diverse campaign, I think, by far. It's taking everything they've been putting into the series for the past 5-6 years and using it really well. You've got the light zombies thing because there's a plot reason why. You've got some very light defenses you set up during that. You've got the open world Warzone but full PvE type thing where you've got all different guns, and you've got the armor plate system to use throughout the whole campaign that works well, that you can upgrade. The upgrades feel really good to get because when I bought every upgrade
and stuff.
I felt like killing God compared to what I had been early, because you change your sway when you get like aim punch. If you're getting shot, almost goes away, and you get a lot less sway on assault rifles. Like it feels like a legitimate gameplay upgrade. You're harder to kill and all that type of stuff.
The last time I played a COD campaign, I was just like behind some other dudes in like a trenchish area. And
a lot of people in the comments were like, "I hate the open world stuff and whatnot." And the reality is the nonstop bombastic over the top things gets boring if it's all it is. It has to change up every now and then.
The problem with the nonstop bombastic stuff is often you are on rails, really. It's a very slickly done on rails segment, and I found the multiple choice, you know, the Bill Clinton charity thing was very cool. It gave you 3 different paths to get to your objective in terms of things you could
There's good replayability.
Yeah, there's some good replayability there, but the open world just injects a little bit of flavor, a little bit of
it adds
different
a
pace,
breaking the pace. Yeah, I mean, everything does.
And it was really good, and the horror elements do too. And I can see YouTube member Lucius Augustus saying, "I don't know if I'm just trash, but that zombie level was rough for me. I was getting clapped." And he comments, "Putting the game on easy didn't make it easier." I made it through without dying throughout that entire thing.
You got to run a lot. You got to run away.
You got to cheese the enemies, but you unlock some cool equipment during that level. I was like, Halo fans.
You get a full-on grappling hook for that level.
Oh, flip!
It's in other things. People have seen it, but it's really useful, and you can pull in the zombies and just smash their head into the ground.
Yeah, some of the gore. It was fun, and
I'd
play through it again, and I haven't done that with one of those in a long time.
I'd be honest, Jesse, the comments saying open world trash, I'd bet you money. Well, I wouldn't bet money, but I'd bet like money that there are people that have not played the game.
No, of course not, because I've seen them on other people's videos. Just their account is there to troll. Not every time, but you see the same people who are just saying the same shit.
This Call of Duty game already has like a bunch of people that are like, this game's gonna suck no matter what. It comes out, hey, turns out it's actually pretty good. I mean, this is
even giving it a 9 as well was cracking.
It's one of the few times IGN's given a game a higher score than us, I want to say.
I mean, it deserves it. You know, especially after last year's entry. Yeah. We had the roughness that was Vanguard, which I've not played, but you know what the perceived roughness.
I didn't enjoy it.
That was the open.
It felt like a return to form. It felt like this was, and look, broadly speaking, when we talk about Call of Duty, you know, I think you said it. One of you said it earlier on. It is a fully feature complete release. And it's a feature-complete release of the type that we used to get back in 2007, 2008, that we seem to not get so much anymore. Why? Yeah. Because they've had, 5 years to work on it, and they've had if you look at the credits at the end, there's something like 10 studios listed across Activision.
For Call of Duty, it's like 30 overall.
I think
between their main and their partners.
Every single Activision studio is listed. Like, it's crazy.
But it goes to show how much all of this stuff has to come together for a game to ship. So when people rag on Halo for not shipping with Forge or not, I'm like, I kind of got to give them a break a little bit. To build something like this feature complete is no small task.
People are spoiled by Call of Duty and by Fortnite, which have entire publishers that have that struggle mightily to support them.
Yeah, and even like Activision, like with Vanguard, we saw it's not always hit after hit.
Modern Warfare 3 sold a ton, but wasn't great.
Yeah. Yep. No, the creaks, the seams are there for people who look for them, but you have to care enough to do that. No, this game sounds great. I got to play it.
Yeah. And speaking of the whole zombie things, we've got a fun question here from one of our wonderful Patreon members, the lovely Hytham G.
I'm like, where's he going with this?
He says, "Hi gents, have you ever watched a zombie movie before? If you did, what would it be that you gents have watched?" That's question one. He's chucked in 3 questions because he doesn't give a fuck about the rules. Hytham G's a maverick. I've watched lots of zombie movies, Hytham.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, you just took tons.
The best one. Yeah.
I mean, there's a million, but I watched a vampire movie recently called 30 Days of Night, which I've never seen before.
Let me just check his question. Does it say vampires? No, it was zombies.
Fine,
zombies.
All
right.
I don't know, man. Friggin' Dead Snow. Great movie.
Okay, yeah. It's a Nazi zombies one.
Yes, Nazi zombies.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Oh, there was that one, Let the Right One In. The original European version and the US version are both good.
That's definitely vampires.
Mm-hmm. You were talking about vampires, so that made me immediately think of that movie.
Hytham wants to talk about zombies.
He's got 3 questions. I can go whatever.
He also says, what's your favourite zombie mode in all of the COD games? For me, it's the ones in Black Ops 1 and 2 and World at War, but your gent's favourite zombie mode in a COD game anyway?
Never played any of them.
I've never really dived into it apart from the very first zombies that came.
Black Ops, yeah.
And even then, I didn't spend a lot of time because I didn't have a crew that all wanted to play it. I'm hoping that changes with this one. Yeah. And we'll dive into the multiplayer.
The favorite for everyone is what were you playing when you were young and had the time? Most of the time.
Correct answer.
Yes.
But in tradition of not actually answering his question properly, I'm going to say Halo Survive the Undead. Yeah.
You big right. Halo fan.
That's right. It's a great mode. It's genuinely fantastically made. For anyone listening, I think it's still up right now in Halo Infinite. It's zombies in Halo, and it's great because everything.
Yeah, there's Forge Falcons, right?
Yep, Forge Falcons. Yep.
Yeah, they do good shit.
It was really cool.
PSS. Not only I like to see Nick do the rave dance, but I want to see John and Jesse do the rave dance on their screen too. So do the rave dance.
No,
we're not performing monkeys, Hytham. All right,
do it. Do the rave dance.
I don't even remember what it is.
We can't do it without Nick here. Nick has to lead the charge. Start the lawnmower, and then we'll follow him along. Like, we can't do it.
If you had, I was playing Just Dance VR, which is surprisingly good on the MetaQuest, outside of the music just being horrible. But like the actual game and the way it works pretty well. That's the only time you could ever see me dance if you were looking in through my window like a creep. That's it. Never again.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, like, Jess, you played through that review. For full review, Black Ops 6, play through the campaign. We'll talk about multiplayer in a bit because I think that's a whole other subject. You gave it an 8.5, which I think is bang on the money. I agree with you in that it does get a bit nonsensical and silly towards the end.
It wants to be deep and like metaphysical and like a philosophy, but it does not earn that part for me story-wise, where it's like as I said before, the big bad of this game just felt like it came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't built up to. It wasn't something like, oh, it's this thing. It was just like, by the way, it's this thing. And you're like, oh shit, okay.
Would it have hit harder if you like had played like the games back to back?
No, this is a new character, not a returning one. It isn't bad. It just didn't elevate it, and despite whatever the frick Nick always says about stories, like the stories of the Black Ops games have been pretty good generally. They're fun spycraft things that add to the fun gameplay. The gameplay that was a lot more basic before, because Call of Duty's always just
the plot twist at the end of Black Ops 1, I was like, what? Like, that blew my child mind. You know what I mean?
Like, good stories help. Mediocre stories don't elevate. So overall, I wouldn't call this mediocre. I call it good, not great. So it doesn't hurt the game. Like, a bad story hurts the game. But a good story doesn't hurt it. Great story helps it. This was just good, so it didn't quite get to that, awesome level of review score-wise.
Yeah, and IGN came out with a 9, as we said. But there was one outlet out there that was a little bit grumpy, wasn't there, Jesse?
Yes.
There was one outlet that thought, hang on a minute.
According to Tom Warren, an outlet that should only be used to line cat litter bins.
That's accurate. Jesse spotted this via Metro, who posted an article saying, why there will be no Call of Duty Black Ops 6 review today, and they'd written, we've not been sent a copy of the game early. As far as we understand, that's going to be the same for every other outlet, at least in the UK. It's not unknown for publishers to withhold review copies when they suspect it won't be received well and they want to manipulate the aggregate review score on sites such as Metacritic, as famously happened with, guess what game they pull out their arse for this SEO piece of shit? Starfield last year. And the hilarity of this is Jesse knows why, but we want to educate, don't we, Jess? We want to explain.
So, not that they probably care, because actual logic and reason generally doesn't apply on shitty trolling. But the reason why Call of Duty, ever since it moved to a launcher, is not given out early is because it is a DLC inside of the Call of Duty HQ. To make DLC accessible early, you have to have a specific build built and then whitelisted for every single person that's going to review it. It's a lot of work. You have to get the Xbox Network ID from anyone on Xbox. You have to get the PlayStation ID from anyone on PlayStation. You need full-on, what is your username on Steam, or your email, your Microsoft email for the Windows Store. It's a lot of work. As we saw with Shadow of the Erdtree, they just don't do it for everyone. It's too much. It's a pain in the ass. And they know everyone's going to freaking play this and review it anyways. So they're like, when it's out, go for it. That's it. And this one was in Game Pass, so
beat them to the punch.
Yeah.
Only 5 outlets have reviewed the campaign so far. Holy crap.
Yeah, well, people don't like to work weekends,
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
It is just the way it is, and
the game just came out. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
it's the narrative of no. This is because it's they're trying to frame it in a certain way. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, like that's a. I don't know. I'd be really pissed off.
Starfield's still an 85 on OpenCritic too. People treat it like it's a piece of shit, but it's an 85 on OpenCritic.
No. They're manipulating the aggregate.
Despite having an inordinate amount of extremely low scores of
disingenuously low scores.
Yeah, like 4,
anyway,
5,
let's not get
5,
into
5.
I just thought Metro was
4.
funny.
Jesus Christ.
Being silly.
But yes, it is very much that stomping your feet, because Metro, as a top critic on OpenCritic, generally do probably get most things and just assumed, because they shit on Microsoft all the time, like how they couldn't give Hi-Fi Rush as high a score as they wanted because Microsoft just doesn't put out anything good in their estimation, that must be why they didn't give it,
wasn't it?
But
yeah.
Like, man,
It limits the number of accolades we can give this title.
DLC,
the release schedules.
really hard to get reviewed on anything but Steam. On Steam, they can just do a beta branch. Pretty easy. But you don't have that on Xbox. You don't have that on PlayStation, where I'm sure most people are going to want to review it in the industry. So they don't do it. They don't have to. So they don't.
But speaking of game reviews, Xbox Era patron and longtime friend of the channel, Colbert, says, in the opinion piece that Jesse wrote about Metacritic and review scores being inherently flawed, it was proposed to just forget or ignore numbers. IMO, Xbox Era could be a role model in doing so. For instance, when I do assessments in business, similar to a written review, I only present findings, positive and negatives. No numbers, no grades in any form. Mm-hmm. For a game, that could be game mechanics, graphics, UI settings, game loop. You get the idea. Are you
Yeah.
planning to go in such direction?
Ask Polygon.
What
They are an
happened?
infinitely bigger site than us, who tried to go away from review scores for a couple years, and they've gone right back because that is the only way people will click on them.
Yeah.
I
Unfortunately,
blame
Metacritic has control.
you. Why are microtransactions everywhere? Nick and people
You.
like him. Why do we have to do review scores? People will not click on it if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't want the opinion. They want to list war with the number.
Mhm.
Now, you can write your opinion and you can attach a score that reflects that opinion as best as you think
Yeah.
that the game deserves. But everyone's metrics are different. And
And every
it's all
score,
bullshit.
every score, like here's a butthole, and then the hand goes up it, and you find a score in
I
there.
try to be a little
you
bit
pull
more
it out.
technical with my scoring
but
than my
it-
butthole.
It's generally
Scores
it's
are
a
literally
vibe.
just feelings.
Scores are a vibe and a feeling at the time, and it can change 2 weeks later. And it doesn't freaking matter. It's what you gave. That's what it is. But there is no scientific method to do something subjective like that. You just can't. It is how do I feel and what do I think about scores and what does the site I'm writing for think about them. Like I wrote 5,000 words for Starfield. Didn't matter. Gave it a too good a score. People yelled at me. I wrote I think it was 2,000 words on why I didn't love Armored Core 6. Didn't matter. Got tons of death threats. I wrote 3,000 words on why I really enjoyed Redfall as someone who likes open world co-op games. Didn't matter. Just got attacked nonstop relentlessly by people who still try to be nice to me now. And I'm like, I don't forget.
That's funny.
But like
there
the
was
words
a-
don't matter. They just care about the score because it's just about list warring.
A couple weeks ago, there was like this. I'm just gonna bring it up only a little bit. There's this target on us for a bit, right? We review games higher than most people, and the answer is yeah. Generally, we do review games more positively than other outlets. Why? Because A, a lot of us are volunteers who are only picking games we think we'd enjoy anyways. And B, we're not all friggin' jaded industry members that have been in the industry for 15, 20, 30 years that are playing it because they have to play it. We're playing it because we want to play it.
And
Like,
there have been ones, including upcoming ones, where people were not enjoying it at all. So normally if someone gets a code and they're like 5 hours into something and they absolutely hate it and it's like 30 hours long, I'm not going to say, hey, volunteer, please keep going so you can give this a 6 and keep our
it was
average
a
down
game
or something.
I grabbed a code for. It was, I play farming games a fair bit, so I'm like, why not? It's like dinosaurs, farming, Palonic World. I don't know, either way. That studio actually just, I think, collapsed a couple weeks ago or 3-4 weeks ago. The game didn't do well enough. If I gave a score, I'd get that game like a 4 or something. I really didn't want to do that. Like it was just not well made. I didn't want to kick them while they were down, you know?
Yeah.
Like
It's a tricky one, right? Like we have to bear in mind that the main goal of a review, as always, and I've said this multiple times, is you find the voices you think align with what you
Yes.
like, and
yes.
you listen to those. The score doesn't really matter.
Yep.
I've had plenty of 6, 7 out of 10 games that are brilliant to me. I can see Abdul in the chat who says, John, remember how the Hellblade 2 review embargo lifted the minute the game came out on Game Pass? I liked that because I got to play the game myself without external influence, grifters, or biased hoodlums ruining it. Now, you're right. Like I gave Hellblade 2 a 10. I went through that
Fully
and
deserved. Fully deserved.
from my objective analysis, right? It's my subjective feelings on it, but I tried to look at it and I tried to put some objectivity in. I do in all my reviews in that here it
what
is
it was
as a
trying
genre.
to do, right?
What was it trying to do?
Yeah.
Is it the best in class? Why? Can I answer that question? And if my answer is a yes to all of those, and it's beaten everything else in that genre, it's the best one ever. And it,
John, the first game was better than it in every way, man.
Because you could do a running attack.
no, it wasn't.
No,
but
Hellblade
yeah,
2,
like,
man. Ugh.
It is one of those things. And as we grow and as we do more, thanks to folks watching and the support that you guys give, all of our patrons, our community, www.patreon.com/Xbox Era. Seriously, it's the best way you can help us. You know, we're going to get more into it. But the one thing I want to reflect on that Ursel said here is the one thing I hope sincerely doesn't happen is that we ever become those jaded kind of misanthropes that just seem to not fucking enjoy video games anymore, like at all.
Yep.
Fuck that. Like gaming is this incredible hobby and pastime that allows you to become a hero, save a planet, explore a new universe, do things out of character for yourself, be someone else.
Yep.
It
Change
does
world,
all of these different things. Yeah.
like
And I can't imagine being so miserable in life as to just hate the very hobby that I enjoy. And there's too many people online nowadays that seem to just not enjoy it. And I don't understand it.
It's one person's opinion. The most reviewed games are like 200 people's opinions on OpenCritic. That's it. So like a game like Elden Ring has had, I don't know, 30, 40 million people play it probably. It's had 210 people give a review, and those scores matter more than most to everyone, and it doesn't make any sense logically. They should be, if you find people who you trust on how they talk about things and that they'll know what they're talking about, it should be a helpful guide. Because you don't ever have to pre-order. Most reviews come out early. You can pre-download every time on Xbox. You just get the Xbox app and look up a game. As long as it's got a store, you can pre-download it whether you own it or not. So you're essentially, you've got it preloaded. Then you can just choose to buy it if the reviews and everything looks good and you want to give it a go. Those 200 opinions matter too much. And I say that as somebody with a site now that's over 700 reviews done in our very short lifetime. At the same time,
Jesse, they don't matter enough to some people. Where it's like every single review, every single score is individual, right? It's one person's review of the game. You don't need 500 people to give a game a 10 to enjoy a game.
Mm-hmm.
If you find that 110 score, that 9.5 score, and you read it and you're like, you know what, this aligns a lot with how I'd probably feel, and you play it and it turns out, hey, you did love it, right? Who cares if there's someone giving it a 5, a 4, or a 6, or a 7? It doesn't make a goddamn difference. You find someone that sticks with your opinion, sticks with your views. Like Jesse, anyone who knew you'd probably enjoy Redfall because it's a co-op PvE action adventure game. You're muted, John. But like,
it wouldn't be an Xbox Era podcast without it. I still maintain Jesse is probably one of the only reviewers that finished the entire game several times and played it through in full 3-player co-op. I think most of the time throughout from start to finish.
Also,
as intended by the developer.
I've never reviewed it, but I think I got further than most of them in Baldur's Gate as well. I will maintain Baldur's Gate was on fire on PC when it launched. It was on fire on PlayStation when it launched. It was on fire on Xbox when it was launched. And nobody cared because they did not get into Act 2 or especially Act 3.
Also, it has terrible combat. Just saying.
It was
just saying. The combat
fully
sucks.
subjective. If you love the combat, you love all that, that's great. It never got hit. Funnily enough, it's not reviewed on our site because Rare, who absolutely adored the game, probably would have been giving it a 9.5 for Xbox. He just couldn't play it. It kept crashing on him nonstop to the point where he gave up.
I was gone too. I'm pretty sure he lost like tens of hours of saves.
He was just like, I can't do this anymore. I give up. If he had reviewed it, it probably would have been a 2 or a 3 because it was literally, legitimately, completely broken for him. It just did not work for a month or two. And
imagine if
it's a 99 on Metacritic for Xbox.
Imagine if we gave it a 2 or a 3. Imagine that.
It is a 99 on Metacritic for 4 reviews on Xbox. It's got like 4 10s and a 9.8 or something. It's insane. What that
Metacritic gave it a score after only 4 reviews.
That's the limit. You have to have at least 4, and then it gets a score.
That's so dumb.
Yeah,
so dumb.
But ACG. Whatever you think about the guy, he will play through. He gives you a long, detailed explanation on each game. Fully believe he plays through stuff because he's not doing everything. He's just his own channel doing the things he thinks will.
I remember he was one of the few reviewers that liked Crackdown 3 because it's just a fun game, guys. I'm having fun shooting things, jumping around things. Yeah, and like, sorry, really quick on the topic of the question. I feel like individual YouTube channels like that have the advantage where they can get away with not doing review scores. They can just give their feelings on a game or give some other metrics.
He says buy, wait for sale, or quit, right?
Right? Which is essentially what I'd love to do if we could, right? Because those are really what matters. Score doesn't matter.
Like we would have worth checking out on Game Pass, or would it be worth you want to wait on a Ubisoft style sale? Like
exactly. Yeah. But as an outlet, you can't do that. You need those scores. It's really that important.
Yeah, as press, because we are not creator, we are press, and as press, it's just a given that you give a score. And
I mean, I say we're press, right? But like press is in trouble, right? Like most of the gaming industry. Why do you see the types of articles that you see that Metros? Why do you see this shit? Why do you see this stuff that's designed to enrage you? Because it's the only way any of us as press can make any money. Do you think reviews make money? They do on the rare occasion that a small site like ours is first. Hi-Fi Rush, Black Ops 6,
Starfield Shattered Space was like 28K this month.
Right? So when that happens, well, you're the only review on there, so you win. But when we're small and all these other big outlets do it, it does nothing for us. So what do all these other big outlets do? They concentrate on guides and bullshit SEO questions that people Google, because it's the only way you can get people to funnel in. Because no one, I'm sorry to say it, not you guys, because you guys are lovely, but generally no one reads anymore.
Yeah.
No one discusses, no one divulges. It's just these bubbles versus anger.
And people want to. They can't because Google doesn't serve them that. Google serves very specifically worded clickbait that has a couple sentences, picture, couple sentences, picture. That's what they want everything to be for a mobile.
Click through to the next page of the article. Yeah. But this change is warping the industry. So while we're seeing the gaming industry itself, job losses and studio closures, games media, you're seeing it as well. Sites closing down, legacy sites, long-standing sites closing. Yeah. Why? Because what games media do nowadays, us included, doesn't matter as much anymore. And what smart games media folks are doing are realizing we actually need to be not just press, not just words in a column on a page. We need to have a connection with our audience. And this is why I'm really glad. I wish we'd started a couple of years earlier, but where we are is we've actually got a community of people that aren't toxic as fuck. Well done, guys.
Thank you. I had to push very hard to have strict content moderation because I've just seen how bad Reddit has gotten, how bad Twitter has gotten, how bad YouTube has gotten, and those people feel emboldened in a way right now, which is really rough. And we are very lucky, as I go through our Patreon tiers, to have so many, over 200 paying Patreon members now. It's crazy to have that type of support, and we just need that to keep going up, like $3 a month. It keeps going up. We do less and less SEO grind bullshit and more reviews stuff that we get shows. To lean
into all of this, the stuff that you guys actually want to see, and I think that you're going to see websites try and pivot to this. You've seen the rise of stuff like VGC have a Patreon now because it's hard out there. They're in an independent site. You know, they're run by very experienced guys, but like us, very small team. There's only like 4 guys that run the entirety of VGC, right? You've got, I think Aftermath is one. You've got Radio Remap or Remap Radio. Yeah. You've got
guys, I think, right? Yeah.
You've got all this sort of stuff where the objective is not necessarily just the site. It's about the connection between us and you and giving you a window into this stuff. And that's the goal with Xbox Era from start to finish. And yeah, we're really grateful to you guys for making it possible because we hate doing this stuff. That's a long answer to Colbert's question, but it's a really interesting question, and it tackles and it dives into a lot of the problems that this industry faces as an art form, as a critique of the way we do stuff. And I hope that at least goes a little bit of a way to explain some of the choices we make day in and day out. But nutshell, we owe our survival to everybody watching right now, the people that donate on Patreon, our YouTube members. Yeah. The more of you that can do that, and I know it sucks that we have to kind of remind folks, but if you think about it, if you watch all of our reviews and you're on our forums that we run and you're on our Discord and you're taking part in giveaways, look, I'm just being honest. Give a little back. It helps us stay alive.
And do it through patreon.com/Xbox Era. Do not do it through the Patreon app on Apple because they take 30%.
They do.
Apple sucks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully not for
long.
Patreon's great. They only take 8% total, unlike YouTube, which can be anywhere from 30 to 50%, depending on various things. But it's because YouTube is also spending inordinate amounts of money to host 4K video of really decent quality. So I get that a little, but Patreon rules. You guys are all awesome, and we would love to do a ton more Patreon exclusive stuff. We just need to get a little bigger before we can fully focus on it like the way we really want to, but I still want to yoink you in for some movie commentaries and stuff, John.
I'm down, bro.
It'd be easy.
I will give you my my childcare rota where I have the kids and where I don't. You just need to find the evenings where I don't, and we can do that. And I've also started and this will bring me on segue nicely to Black Ops 6. Because multiplayer is great. And yesterday I spent a couple of hours with some of our community folks in the community game night channel.
I was just streaming my viewpoint to our Discord. I wasn't doing it on YouTube. I want to see more of that. Like, we're all this really wonderful, very tight-knit, passionate community of good people, in my humble opinion. You are all genuinely good people.
And it was so much fun meeting some of you guys in Germany. Oh my God.
It is, genuinely. Like, we got to meet our CEO, for God's sake. That is as legendary as he is in virtual worlds, you know? But being able to play with everybody and just chat and be conversational, it's such a blessing. And you know, you see Jesse streaming. He would much rather stream and play a game and hang out with you guys than sit there grinding out on SEO. And Black Ops 6 is such an excellent multiplayer suite that I think that we're going to be able to dive into a lot of that with everybody. And we want to do all sorts of different games. But as someone who is a lapsed Call of Duty fan, I was hardcore Halo when
What was the last COD
like,
you really played multiplayer-wise? You remember?
God, it would have been like really played.
Like
It
really
would have been,
played?
it would have been COD 4.
Damn. Modern Warfare?
Mhm.
Holy crap. Yeah, that's a while back.
It's a while back. I still got it though. Like, I went there and posted my first game. It was
I'll
like
tell you this,
KD of
though.
like 1.89.
And my
I'm fine
brother
with
agrees
that.
with this too, is good Halo players translate to great goddamn COD players. Because you still aim for the head. When most COD players don't, they aim for the body.
Yeah,
and
I
it
do
makes
aim for the head
difference.
all the time.
Exactly. But most COD players will be like, whatever, body gets the kill, right? But like Halo, you got to aim for the head no matter what. So you build up that habit. You switch to COD and you're like, yeah, I'm going to kill 2 you guys before you kill me because your heads are right there. And I'll get those shots up.
It's a very enjoyable game to play. I find myself loving the Omni movement. There's still realizing the freedom that you actually have to dive through doors, John Woo style, and you know.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, there's so much diving backwards, rolling prone.
So for those in chat who are a
aiming
little
all
confused,
around.
you can literally sprint backwards.
You can
you'll press the
sprint
button and
sideways,
you'll move
backwards.
You can sprint sideways, backwards. That's what makes it really different.
Yeah, they talked about how, people can move pretty quickly while crouching in real life and going sideways. Like, you can actually do it pretty well if you're trained for it. And they're like, let's try this in the game. And then it worked really well.
I will say, as someone who fired a firearm for the first time like a month ago, it is not as easy as the movies and games make it look like. Hitting a target It is very difficult.
Yeah. Like, oh man, I want to go in and just play more. I want to be playing it right now. Like, it's been a while since and it does the things that I still find annoying about COD. Like, the reason I've always loved Halo and gelled with Halo is it is me, and it's the possibility of hero moments. You get those, but you have to be so much faster off the bat to pull that off. Whereas in Halo, there's more time to think. And when you're a greybeard like me, you know, it is not as simple as I'm going to bounce this grenade, turn, get the headshot as it goes off, backsmack this guy. It doesn't work like that. But, there's some wonderful stuff you can do. I was just playing before I jumped on, and I was in I think it was what's it called? Headquarters match. Headquarters. So you've got to hold the defense points, get the points, then it moves on to another one. And there was this sniper, and he was just sitting in a lane, camping. And I kept seeing him. I was like, you little shit. So I was like, fuck everything, fuck the objective. You're my objective. And then I come up behind him. And, you know, the body thing, you can take a hostage now in Black Ops multiplayer. So he's sitting there, pew, pew, sniping away, and I come up behind him and I grab him, and because the proximity chat is like, and it feels like that old school Xbox Live stuff, and I've just got him. Hello, sunshine. It comes to his head like,
you just go full on Jason Statham.
You're having a little rest. and then my character had like a bat, and he just like, I was just like this. It feels so good. It is such a blast.
Give that guy a jump scare for sure.
Yeah, like, and then he kept trying to camp, and I just kept I was like, the whole game, I was like, fuck everything, fuck my XP, fuck my KD. I'm just gonna get this guy, and it's so much fun, man. Like, and I think going back to that Halo for me, starting to get so sweaty.
Yes,
like I couldn't play for fun.
It was Halo. I could only do like 3-4 matches at a time, and my hands are literally shaking. Like, okay, I got to stop playing for a bit. This is way too intense.
Gonna have to 1v1 you at one point.
That was
you're better than me for sure. I'm like, if I play ranked, I'm probably like, I can maybe climb to like high diamond, maybe.
The game that was that for me was Titanfall 2. I played a lot with Trav. I was really goddamn good at it. But I could only do like 3 or 4 matches at a time because then I was spent because it was so sweaty and it was fun, but it was so hard. But I would do pretty goddamn good, so I'd be happy with those, 2 to 4 matches. And something that's more like this, like especially early Overwatch was so fun because nobody really knew a meta or anything, and everyone could be anyone at any time. Once things start going to esports is when I can't do that much of it because I don't have the time to keep up with everything. So something like this definitely feels more just jump in and have fun.
It's casual, I think that's something like Black Ops 6 has successfully pursued and kept. It's fun. It's fun. Halo catered a little too much still to the sweat. And
the issue there, John, is it's fun 2 days in before they have enough data on everyone playing to build up the SSBM. You know what I mean? This is the time to jump in and play the game. For anyone curious, if you have Game Pass, it's only a 50 gig download. It's actually not that large because you can download the campaign and multiplayer separately. Download it, play the multiplayer, have some fun. Like I was talking to my brother who played it for a while. He's like, yeah, the first hour was great. And then it kind of realized I was pretty good. And then it got real sweaty real quick.
I don't mind the sweat. Like I like it, but right now it's fun.
COD, when you die, you come back so quick that it doesn't feel as punishing, right?
Yes.
In Halo, you're doing a push and you die when you really shouldn't have, and boom, you lose a flag cap or they get a 3 cap or whatever.
It's
and Overwatch is 5v5 and so dependent on team comp and all that if you fail, you feel like you messed up and your team lost because of you.
They're testing 66 again, eh?
Yeah, they're going back to it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Sure.
And that's part of the whole push for Overwatch League above all else. Overwatch League is like gone now, I think, or going away. And so they're like, okay, we'll go back to just being fun. All the big things, the things that pushes on you right now are all the arcade modes, like Junkenstein's Revenge, cool. PvP. Like they're I think game still does fine, but they seem committed to going back to more casual, over the top fun, which I'd be cool with.
I feel like in general with these multiplayer games, you'll find the fun when you want to find the fun. And by that, I mean, like when I play Halo seriously, I'm playing ranked. When I'm not playing it seriously, I play like Fiesta or Firefight or, kind of more fun modes. Yeah, Fiesta can get sweaty. Don't get me wrong. It can. There are good
Fiesta
people that play games.
I was like, why are you getting sweaty in Fiesta?
People definitely can get sweaty in Fiesta.
Here, but it's just the nature of it. I think as well, the SBMM is much more punishing in Halo because of a smaller player count.
Yes, 100%.
The people that are still playing are the people that are fucking shit hot. COD is going to have a smorgasbord of people. And the minute you stop giving a fuck about your KD and stuff and just play to have fun, like that whole game, I was dying over and over on the way to try and get the sniper guy because I was just like I want to fuck this guy.
You have to have, if you want to have fun playing the game, you have to have fun playing the game. You can't be playing every mode super sweaty and then being like, why am I only getting sweaty modes? Well, you keep playing super sweaty. What do you expect? Really quick on SSBM, did you guys catch that one report by Activision? This is a couple months ago or something, where they're like, we actually, because so many people were complaining about it, turned it off without telling anybody. And we tested this multiple times for over, I think, a few weeks or months. And they're like, consistently, we got complaints when it was turned off of people just not having fun or more people quitting games or et cetera, stuff like that. Consistently. Like, they have the data
there. It needs to exist. You just can't have it be too tightly tuned. But if your game
super tightly tuned in ranked. In the social modes, it should be more open and just.
But if your game doesn't have a huge community, then it's always going to feel too tightly tuned, most likely.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to push that 50% win rate. But then, like, I play League of Legends way too much. After you finish a game in League, it shows you how many games you've won, how many games you've lost, just overall, ever, like in your whole friggin' career or whatever. And like when I finish a game, especially a ranked game in League, and I look at my win-loss, and it's actually within like 5-6 games. Like it's that close to 50-50. You have enough of a player pool, you have enough games, you can still have that 50-50, but it can still feel fun. Yeah. And I'm hoping that's what COD keeps. Oh, it's COD, man. It's going to keep it up. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 was still the second best-selling game last year on a down year.
Like,
only lost to a generational IP hit.
Yeah, I do think some of the maps feel way too big for 6v6 at this point in time, and I dislike dailies being like get 25 sniper kills. I'm like,
I hate those.
I don't want to use a sniper rifle, so I just ignore that shit. I don't care.
Dude,
I mean, it's just to have fun.
I played Call of Duty for the first time in a while, right? Okay, first off, the UI still sucks. I'll be honest. It's super in my face. It's better. I've heard.
Last one I played.
I've heard it's better.
Black Ops 6. Like I remember seeing a clip from like it must have been Black Ops 2 or 1, like back then.
Yeah.
And it was like you've ranked up, and it was this font here and that font here, and then there was an XP bar over here and the mini map here and like other perks down. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? And it feels a lot slicker now.
For sure. But by sucks, I mean like it's information overload. I think Fortnite has the exact same problem. Or listen, I just want to play a game, guys. That's all I want to do.
Just let me in.
Click this, click this, click this, click this. I'm like, dude, just let me customize this gun, change this attachment. I'm like, I don't care, man. I know for a lot of people that's a big appeal of the game. Leveling up the guns, getting better guns, better attachments, better perks. That's a big part of it. Personally, I just want to shoot people. That's all I want to do. So like, thankfully, it wasn't too hard in this one. It's 2 buttons and you're already in, and it matches you in immediately for the next game. Blah blah blah. Yo, are the operators anything more than cosmetic, by the way? Or are they just cosmetic?
They've got. I haven't looked into it too much, and I got a bit confused about this because it was like pick a character and then pick an operator, and I was like, well, can I not just like pick a generic person and customize them? But no, or yes, or there's 2. You've got a character and then an operator, and I was like, I still don't fully understand why they come in and why they don't.
I imagine
I'm
operators
not reviewing the multiplayer
are just like things they sell, like Nicki Minaj, right? That'd probably be an operator.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
everyone looks the same at the moment. Everyone looks like the same characters.
I just pick Woods, default white guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't think they do anything other than look different.
Right?
Some have their own, like Snoop Dogg has his own like dancing kill animation in Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone. Like I think they have that type of stuff, but I don't think it changes the game.
Like people eat this crap up, but it's always so weird for me that you have like this deep, hardcore military, almost sim-like, and here's Snoop Dogg doing a dance. Like okay, all right.
Friggin' the Attack on Titan guys going at you like
here's messy.
It is just giving in to what people want. People want IP crossover. There's no getting away from it. And if Halo's ever going to be that big again, multiplayer for a long stretch, it has to give into it.
It needs one that makes sense. It absolutely
anything that can be a Spartan outfit, anything that can be the armor at all, even just cosplaying that character.
Well, one thing I think everyone's got to give a lot of credit to 343 for is the art design in Halo Infinite is incredible. Even the armors that like the little cat ears, it's like within armor, like you know what I mean. It doesn't feel outside Halo. That's what I mean.
I'm fine with it. Yeah. I don't mind anything that.
Mohawk might be a little much. I will agree, but the cat ears and stuff is okay.
But it's the other mode of obviously the Black Ops 6 has is zombies. I've not dived into it at all. It's 4-player co-op, round based. It looks fun from what I've seen. But yeah, we've got folks. I think Fairy Empire's working on both the zombies and you know we're certainly hoping to get in with some zombies with him to get some clips and stuff like that.
The time to kill felt longer than I remembered it being in COD.
Yeah, it is a little longer, right? It isn't as quick as you'd think.
It's about twice as long as it used to be, which sounds like a lot, but I mean, it used to be like half a second. Now it's a second.
I mean, it's still like a second or two. Yeah,
it's about a second instead of half a second, unless you're all headshots.
Yes, that makes. Like I actually had moments where I only played a couple games where I had moments where I'd be able to duck into a corner. Where I'm like, oh wow, I didn't think I'd survive that in a COD game. You know what I mean? I like that.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm a big fan.
That's because you're an Xbot trying to raise the Metacritic score.
Dude, even to this day, I was with a group of friends earlier watching a UFC card. Great card, by the way. Rest in peace, Max Holloway. But we were talking about Call of Duty, and someone's like, "Oh man, dude, yo Ursula, you do Xbox stuff. Can you get me a PlayStation code?" I'm like, "Dude, just play it on a PC with Game Pass." He's like, "It's on Game Pass?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude." I had like complete surprise reaction. Like, I think that word of mouth is going to travel pretty well. I know people complain about the marketing and them trying to have their cake and eat it too, Jesse. But the word of mouth will make a difference for sure, in my opinion. Regarding
to be honest, I've been playing a lot multiplayer. I've not seen because it's crossplay, right?
Yeah.
I've not seen everything has been Xbox or PC currently in all my
really.
Huh? Yeah, I've not seen a single PlayStation logo yet. I've probably played like 12, 15 matches, maybe something.
This is the game that's actually, we're going to now see why PlayStation tried so hard to somehow stop this deal from happening.
I do think they smartly gave up Modern Warfare 3 early on Game Pass.
Yes.
And it's just been console agnostic from Activision side of things, where they're spending $100 million, play Call of Duty, get it in the general thought, but it doesn't say anywhere it is. Anywhere, which is a huge difference over it always being like, oh, this is a PlayStation game. because there's like it's all just says only PlayStation and it's play it on PlayStation and get this early on PlayStation. All that's gone. There's still early content coming to friggin' Modern Warfare 3 next month, I think. And one of the news stories, they're pushing for another exclusive thing. They just had an exclusive extended animation in Sonic X Shadows Generations. Perhaps the saddest
The pettiest
console exclusive
thing I've ever seen.
overall exclusive, because that game's on PC too. But you get extended animation only on PlayStation. So
it's a Sonic game, which reviewed pretty well, by the way. Team Sonic got a win.
And it's sold over 1 million. Unfortunately, Team Sonic looks at us as content creators and on the press side of things. So we got a content creator code, but on the press side, we were denied.
They're not under Sega though, in terms of like the publishing arm, in terms of giving.
They are. So through the normal PR, the 47 who love us, we were told, sorry, no code for you. A day after it was out, or the day it came out.
Like
other people
they didn't use
before.
the usual Sega arm. Like we got Metaphor, right?
I know, but no, Team Sonic, the actual dev sometimes can push it, and for some reason, with Sonic games, we rarely get them early. I did get a code from the UK side. Cengiz has it; he'll get a review out. But
not gonna lie, if they put Master Chief in COD, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. Like it's just a blanket. Like
it's interesting. You know, Black Ops 6 is certainly causing the industry to sit up and take notice. It is the biggest release of the year.
Yes.
And just a quick side note before we dive into the other topic I wanted to tackle here around Black Ops 6. I installed COD on my ROG Ally X, which I'm obviously trying to put through its paces to put some sort of feature list together. Runs great. Runs great at 60 FPS.
Yeah, it's a slightly faster processor, right?
Yes.
The original.
Yeah, runs great. Can run at 120 in certain instances, but I set it to just hard lock it at 60, 720p with a mixture of medium to some low settings.
Yeah.
Looks great on a tiny screen, so it gives some monkeys.
Still an Xbox One and PS4 game. So it has to run well on those, and your Ally X isn't far off.
It's pretty damn great. I love that machine. But people have been kind of losing their minds a little bit around the marketing side of things. You know, I saw some pictures of like, I don't know if it was New York or London, but it had play it on PC Game Pass, and they're pushing the PC side of things.
Yep.
For people that don't want to buy it on Steam or Battle.net or wherever, you can just straight up, boop, grab a code and play through the campaign or test out multiplayer.
It's $12 a month too versus 20.
Yeah. It's much cheaper to do it on PC.
Dude, speaking of, really quick, sorry, I had another friend at the same party, and I'm like, dude, like, you want to play the new Forza game, because he's like a sim racer. I'm like, or Call of Duty. Yeah, just play it on Game Pass. He's like, bro, I don't have an Xbox. I have a PC. I'm like, okay, dude, it's cheaper for you. Like, play it there.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have either, you could actually you could play through the cloud.
Straight up.
They have a communication problem, but it was also breaking some people's minds. Black Ops 6 is making some people write some very curious opinions around Game Pass and Microsoft and the acquisition. I saw one particular piece getting a lot of pushback and criticism from other journalists, which was a piece from Rob Fahey at Games Industry of his, who wrote, Black Ops 6 is make or break for the Game Pass strategy. And, much like, folks like Tom Warren were like, is it? Because Microsoft aren't going, hey, everyone, it's on Game Pass. They're advertising it in bits and pieces and pockets, but it's not on every advert. So how can we equate that it's make or break for the strategy if it's not being advertised as such? Thoughts here? Do you agree that this is make or break for Game
my
Pass?
first thought is when I see anything negative about Xbox on GameIndustry.biz, I think Rob Fahey must have wrote that, and I'm right every time.
I've been kind of consistent with this viewpoint. I think they don't need to advertise Game Pass as much as I think some of you guys think they do. I know Nick's like, advertise Game Pass everywhere. I don't think they need to. Now with Call of Duty, I think this is a release where word of mouth is king. To this day, I still remember, I'm in high school. When we talk about the various games coming out, all it takes is one person in a group to be like, by the way, it's on Game Pass. And the other 6, 5, 6, 7, and they'll be like, what's Game Pass? Boom. Job's done. You know what I mean? And when a game reaches a certain threshold, which this game has, the marketing budget for this game equaled friggin' high budget blockbuster movies.
Yeah, one of the advertising folks was actually interviewed, and he says it's not so much about, getting it out in as many players' hands as possible. It's about getting it out to be relevant to as many people as possible, to be a known thing. And I think they've done that. It's on every bus stop around here. Yep. It's on TV. The Replacer is in GIFs, replacing Homer Simpson and Leonardo DiCaprio and sports players.
Yeah, you see that? I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
By the way, what is this Replacer thing? Is that a Black Ops thing?
It is a Black Ops thing. He was
Peter
part of the marketing campaign.
Yeah,
I mean, the actor, obviously. Like,
yeah, he was part of the marketing campaign like 10, 12 years ago or whatever.
Oh.
And he didn't come back. And then, like, I think the guy that he replaced in sports, they had him come in and talk about it. And they were like, no, bring back the Replacer. So the Replacer replaced that guy.
It was Kyler Murray, because people have done statistical analysis of his performance as a quarterback in the NFL before and after Call of Duty releases.
Oh, yes.
And he is statistically worse because he potentially might be staying up, supposedly playing Call of Duty all the time instead of studying and getting sleep. And so they had the Replacer replace him in like graphics during the game and a whole bunch of other crazy shit. They've been going nuts with it.
That's so funny.
Who kind of feels like this is like a welcome home moment with COD. COD and Xbox is they kind of fit. You know what I mean? They kind of just make sense together.
Yeah, I saw Aaron Greenberg said welcome back home.
Oh, did he actually say that?
Yeah, he tweeted out. And that's the thing. You'll get a different stance from perhaps some of the more, mouthy execs. I say that in a nice way. Like, where you can just, this is my personal Twitter account. I can say kind of what I like to a degree versus the corporate stance. But I don't think that there has been ever this stance from Microsoft that this is make or break. Is Call of Duty an important IP to Microsoft? Is it why they acquired Activision Blizzard? Yes.
Yes.
Right, primarily, yes. Also, the mobile side of things, with Call of Duty Mobile included, but it's a huge IP. But we need to get away from this. Oh, it owes Microsoft $70 billion and it has to pay it back. That is a fallacy.
Yep.
that is a wrong way of looking at it. Because
you know what's going to happen next year, John, around this time?
What?
Another COD game. You know what's going to happen the year after that, around this time?
I know.
Another COD
round
game.
And round
so is it make
baby.
or break every single friggin' November every year?
Well, the thing as well of using the phrase "make or break" when it comes to Xbox is, I'm sorry, games like long-standing media. It's a tired phrase. Take it out back and shoot it. Because according to you guys, every Xbox AAA release is make or break for the platform.
Well, better than a love letter, right?
There's one of the main issues around Xbox right now with the ever evolving and changing scope of what gaming actually is success-wise. In the industry, it definitely feels like people legitimately think that Xbox is this close to just being a dead brand and they turn into a third-party publisher. Like actual people in the industry who believe that. And ignore that as a company, as a brand right now, they make more money than they ever have. Like, it's not even close. They're making so much goddamn money. They've invested so heavily. They are so diversified in how they make money that one thing, that being mainly console sales, just isn't as important as it used to be. They'd love to have a ton of them if they could make them cheaper or sell them for more money. But there's been we joke about how slow Sony can be to turn and react to stuff, but they are. Saw it with Spider-Man coming to PC way sooner than most people were expecting. It's a year and a half, not even. It's a year and 3 months instead of 2 to 3 years like it had been. Ragnarok's already there. Final Fantasy 16 went pretty quickly. I bet you Rebirth will go pretty quickly. That one only had a 3-month thing. It's just that team struggles real hard doing PC ports, as we saw with 16. There's
not the same team, but yeah.
Yeah, that publisher. They kind of killed their whole Be Everywhere all at the same time thing they had going really well for a bit, and so now they struggle to get ports out. Yep. It is an industry that is going through rapid change, as we keep seeing with all the firings, and it's tough for people to adjust to that all the time. It's not like Xbox is doing amazing and killing it everywhere. They definitely have tons of issues and things to work on, just like everyone, except for essentially Nintendo right now. And the question with Nintendo is, how does they don't do great home console-wise twice in a row. They have on handheld, but now this is the first time they've had the combined handheld and home console thing twice in a row, and the last one did amazing. It would be very surprising if this one was able to match it, simply because so many people already have a Switch. So what is the next one going to do to get that same mass casual group? Like, everything's hard, and people just look at certain numbers.
It's not a given. People look at the massive success of the Switch and they think, oh, Nintendo's killing it. They've got it for sure. That's not a given. We saw it happen with the Wii U. Like, heck, in a business course,
you say Wii U, it's everything. Nintendo Entertainment System, 62 million, down to 50 for the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo less than the Nintendo? What the heck?
Yeah, Super Nintendo was significantly less than the Nintendo, which then was significantly less on the N64, which was then less on the GameCube, then skyrocketed with the Wii U, and then died, the Wii, and then died on the Wii U, and then skyrocketed on the Switch. But they were carried by the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, SP, all those. Those were what carried them the whole time. And eventually their home console market got so bad that they were like, okay, we're going to do it. It's just one console for all of our shit, and it's both home and portable.
I still remember when the 3DS released, one of the versions, might have been the new 3DS, without the goddamn power adapter in the box.
Crazy.
What the heck?
Yeah, they do that with phones now, don't they? No charger in the box. You've got
enough chargers. Understandable-ish. People have enough chargers, yeah. Even though, bro, I'm paying $1,000. Give me a goddamn.
Yeah, give me a goddamn charger, you piece of shit.
Like, seriously.
Right. Yeah, it bugs me. It's funny. There's some community questions on some of this stuff. So, a person that did the form that didn't put their name or category in. So I don't know who wrote this. I don't think it was SJ, because there's a question from SJ in the normal forum. So, random Patreon member, thank you very much for this question. I don't know who it is, but we love you. Hello, John, Ursel, Jesse. Another week, another Xbox needs this to succeed. When will it end? When Nick gets his Nintendo era podcast? Regardless, I'm having fun playing the Black Ops 6 multiplayer, and I can't wait to get started on the campaign tonight. I tried playing zombies last night with goobers masquerading as my friends, but I just don't think zombies is for me. My question is there a popular mode in a video game that everyone loves, but you don't? Thanks for all you do. And Nick, you suck for not turning on submissions for this question form for the show tonight. Thanks, guys. Halo BTB.
You don't like BTB?
Also, wasn't Nick's fault. It was my fault.
I think they know that. They're just having fun.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I copied.
I think it was Nick's fault. I'll be honest.
No, I copied it every week.
But the important thing is Nick sucks, and we can't all help but agree. I don't like Halo BTB as a game mode. Like, I understand its reason for its existence, but especially when they've gone 24 players, I think it's I just dislike it. It's just a load of camping bullshit when you're in the SBMM world of Halo.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like my 4v4s. That's where I'm at.
And big team battles usually
with
like
squads 6v6 is good.
80% of all the kills in the game are like the top 4 people. Usually,
I hate it.
You have someone on the bottom with like -2 score. You're like, what are you doing?
Mint Blitz is in here, dead.
Yep.
Dead. I'm done. What about you guys? Game modes you hate in popular games?
I mean, sure, I'll call it a game mode. Battle Royales. I don't like Battle Royales. I never have. I've played 1 or 2 matches of every single Battle Royale released. And to this day, I'd say PUBG is my favorite because I felt the most intense. Like, I'm crouched in the bushes and I hear like a car coming. I'm like, holy crap. Gotta hide. I see it coming. I barely knock him off the car. Other than that, Fortnite is, hey, I'm screwing around for 10 minutes. I got some gear. Oh, I had to go take a break. I'm going to hide behind this rock. I come back. I see someone. I die. You got 20th place. What the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel you. What about you, Jess? Game mode you hate? You're not a big multiplayer guy, but
I was. I just not lately because I have to jump around so much. I used to be really like I played 1,000 hours of Battlefield 5 with my wife and brother, and a couple thousand in Overwatch too. It was like all I ever played.
You played WoW. I mean, that's a multiplayer game.
I mean that was 10,000 hours of WoW over like four years. Don't work out that math. Yes, I had it on at work all the time. Because I was just answering phones and shit. So it was like, okay, then there's nothing to do. I've done all my work.
/played is I never ever. There's this while you open it up, you type /play, it tells you exactly how long you played that character.
It was many hundreds of years. Yeah,
it's in the days.
So I was in many hundreds of days. Yes.
On
my main. God, probably the original friggin' build battle royale mode in Fortnite. Couldn't stand it. No build is the only time I've ever enjoyed it, and I've only played it a few times, but it's the only one that I can really think of.
Like, I was watching Nick play, and I'm like, "What game is this? Why do you have Iron Man's like jumping suit immediately? You have Captain. What is going on?"
It's an okay game, entirely carried by all of its IP crossover. There's nothing bad about it. Yeah. It's okay. It's a solid third-person shooter that looks really nice now with all their bells and whistles on, as they have thousands of people trying to make Unreal Engine 5 actually work. Like,
I threw Horde mode in there too, by the way, in terms of modes. I never really got into Gears Horde mode. I played it a bit in 5, and I thought it was okay.
Really enjoy Horde mode. You go to heck.
And I know we were just talking about Nintendo's hardware and how they've had to kind of switch across to the combination of their handheld and main home console market.
Is this a Lee Layfield question you're going to throw in there?
It is, mate. Congratulations
I found it before
the
you
one
even
after
said
it
anything.
as well. Lee Layfield, Xbox Era patron and super cool motherfucker, says a subject of hypothetical new console platform gimmicks. Hi all, hope everyone's having a great weekend. I've been away for 2 weeks, so Era is working as my gaming roundup for the last 2 weeks worth of news. Question, if you're in charge of a fourth brand new console platform and you had to have a fresh new gimmick to incentivize customers, what would it be? It can't just be improvements on graphics or current features. Nintendo went with a hybrid Joy-Cons, Xbox with Xbox Live, Connect, Game Pass, Quick Resume, Sony with VR, Move, and new controllers. What would you do as a fourth gaming platform?
I don't know one as a fourth gaming platform, but literally the one I always thought of is if I could have a console that is a console experience that is a PC and then thus can play everything. Which is the rumor for the next Xbox gen. Now they have the advantage of also being an Xbox, so that wouldn't be a fourth platform, but like having something that feels like a console that just works, but gives you the vast number of experiences you can only have on a PC.
And maybe with like if it had modular updates too. Maybe like, hey, we don't get to replace the whole console. Take this slide up, put the new slide in. Boom, your GPU is better.
If it's super easy, it's like it's just yoinking out a GPU and putting in a GPU as easy as it gets. That type of thing. Yep. But it would have to be this just works, and that's insanely difficult.
Yes. My go-to example is ROG Ally. Great piece of software. Sorry, hardware. Great piece of software. I open up a game in the Xbox store or the Game Pass. It just works. Usually, I downloaded Dragon Age Origins. Still through Game Pass. I open it. First off, it doesn't open because it crashes because PCs suck. Second off, it has no controller support on PC. So I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, infuriating.
That's why the Steam Deck's got those two little touchpads, because there's just so many things that don't support controllers well.
What would you say, John, this question?
It's interesting, actually, you brought up your ROG Ally, because SJ Dub says, hello, Xbox Era CEO. Ursel, the review machine, Jesse, and John. Why do I not get a title? I'm giving into the FOMO and looking to buy a handheld, but I don't know which one would be better. I think Jesse has some fair opinions on this as well. I don't own any games on Steam. How are you guys liking your handhelds, and what are some of the pros and cons of each that you've used? The ROG Ally X is very expensive. It's like 800 quid new for the fancy version of the ROG Ally. Supports everything. That's a pro. Con, have to run Windows. There is a new update out for Windows that I'm trying to see if I can get onto my machine that has a better gaming keyboard thing.
Really?
The nutshell is,
there's a built-in controller keyboard on Windows now.
What?
Which
really?
would be much better.
It makes a huge
difference. It's just a basic. It reads as a keyboard, but it is a control with your controller
the ones
keyboard.
on Xbox, the ones that just open up and you click.
Yeah, because like in a game like Inscription, which I'd love to play on my ROG Ally, when you die, you have to name a death card.
Yeah,
you can't get the keyboard to come up. It won't recognize the virtual keyboard, and you can't use your gamepad to then bring up a in-game keyboard to type.
Oof, that's right.
So immediately I'm like, quit out, do that on PC, and then I can play again for another round.
I have a Bluetooth keyboard for my ROG Ally.
I haven't.
You saw the one. It was a little tiny little thing that folds.
Yeah, I haven't picked up any.
I played Star Wars on that thing. That was an experience.
But yeah, I like the ROG Ally, and I think that the ROG Ally or the Lenovo Legion Go are probably the best ones
Yeah.
if you're not
Jesse
a
has the
Steam person.
Lenovo Legion Go.
Yeah, the only answer right now is wait. If you don't really need something right away, wait and see what the next group of AMD's Strix-powered handhelds are going to be, because they should be of similar performance with excellent battery life in comparison. Because that is the whole thing. Right now, AMD and Intel kind of went, oh, we've pushed really far on what we can do. We need to figure out how to keep it doing this without it using like 300 watts on a CPU. Like, we got to figure this out.
SJ, some caveats I feel are needed if you want to buy a handheld device right now. One, the assumption is you're near a power plug most of the time. Most of the time. It's still portable. Like, I take it to my friend's place, I just plug it into the wall, right? Two, they can get kind of bulky. The Lenovo Legion Go is especially a lot bigger than I thought. But actually, I'd kind of disagree with Justin a little bit, because next month is Black Friday. And I feel like it's going to be one where these devices are going to be heavily discounted. If you can grab a ROG Ally, I don't have the X, I just have a ROG Ally.
I would only get the X.
500. Yeah, probably. But if you can get it for like 500 US ish, that's a great price. Like, I jump on
Keep
that.
an eye on used as well.
Yeah.
But
There is an issue though. Like just John says, it's on Windows. I use mine whenever I travel, which is only once every like month or two. And like I'll have to open it the night or day before. Got to do a million Windows updates or driver updates because I'm not using it daily.
You also have to tell it,
daily.
I'm going to play stuff offline on this device, because if you can't get good signal, half your stuff doesn't work.
by the way, same exact problem. You have to do that with, you have to set Steam offline while online, which I learned when I was on a plane, and I bought Wi-Fi just so I could set it offline to use it. Because as much as people tongue bath the Steam Deck, it's good. I like this thing. It is solid. I got the OLED one here. They sent it to me. I've used it twice since Germany. But the Legion Go would always be my go-to more, and it is very
Like a big
funny
screen on that thing.
if you put them together, just how much thicker and chunkier the Legion Go is. It's a big boy, but this thing is, they went over the top with all the specs on the Legion Go. It's two 40 gigabit USB-C ports on it, like full top range as fast as it gets. You can plug like 50 things into this thing if you've got a powered USB hub, and it will be just fine. This is one of the nicest looking screens because it's OLED. The best battery life because they really focus on getting games performant enough where they give them profiles, where they do work.
If you travel enough, it's worth getting.
Yeah.
If you know
but if you
you're
don't
gonna
have any
use it,
games on Steam, it is not.
other than the Steam Deck, definitely not. Like, I have barely any games on Steam. That's why I like ROG Ally.
I have 500 games on Steam, and I still would say
I have like 12.
well, because I used to do the Humble Bundles all the time, and I've gotten like, I don't know, 100 review codes on it because they are just available so much earlier than console tends to be. If you're looking for new AAA titles that run well enough from 30 to 45 FPS for anything that's nice looking, it's a 90 hertz screen, so if you can get a consistent 45, it looks really good, feels good. If you're mobile, if you are mobile and an Xbox person, Ally X. If you are near an outlet and an Xbox person, Legion Go still a little better for me. It just has an overall both console and PC replacement if you want. It's literally Brit's PC replacement, as he's saying in chat. If you are fully mobile and you have any interest in finding cheap Steam games and doing all that type of stuff and building up a library over time, Steam Deck's great. It is the easiest experience. It's not perfect. You are still playing PC games. It will still break all the time. You will still have issues. Despite what people say about Steam, I have problems with it all the time, even with anything. It doesn't matter. It's not perfect.
Number one goal of the Xbox handheld, if it exists, is it's just gotta work. That's it. Just gotta
100%.
work.
I mean, and the Xbox side always will, and the PC side will always have problems.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. But I think, giving power users the option is a good start. But either way, I hope that answers that question. In terms of like other topics for the show today, like I've got a showrunner in front of me. There's tons
I deleted
of stuff
most of them.
We could dig into some stuff.
So you know what the difference is, John? You know what the difference is this week?
What?
All three of us played a lot of video games. Normally, it's one of us has played a lot. Maybe you've played a few, and Nick's played nothing. So that's why this flow has felt a little different. There's still definitely things I think we can jump into and just talk about quickly to make the timestamps more annoying for Nick.
Straight up.
I ain't going to do them. Well, I mean, the first thing I think we should probably mention is Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is out now. It's available on Xbox Game Pass. If you're listening to this on audio platforms, it's already out. You can just go play it if you have a subscription, but it has to be the ultimate subscription on console or the PC subscription.
Or the console subscription on console if you were grandfathered in.
That one too.
Yep.
Thanks, Microsoft. So yeah, having fun. Next up on the Xbox side of things, Phil Spencer is in this neck of the woods. He's doing a bit of a tour of all of, it seems, Xbox's European studios. He has been visiting Playground Games and checking out Fable and Forza and what they're up to. He popped into Rare to get hands-on with Everwild. Things. It still exists.
I saw a lot of very snarky, surprised it still exists comments from people who cover gaming.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
they never
said it was cancelled.
You know,
I mean, dude, remember watching the reactions to Perfect Dark on so many so-called like bigger YouTube channels, and they're like, "Oh, I thought this game was in development hell. Oh, I thought this game wasn't coming out. Why?"
Yeah, well, look, I think Microsoft they went through a bit of a phase of probably announcing things a little too early.
Yes.
And they knew it was. They knew during COVID that, like, oh, everything is going to be pushed back a bunch. We just got to... And they were recommitting.
And they've just had to suffer through that.
But that's what people are saying. People are like, I want to see your whole roadmap. I want to know what's coming on next. Like,
people
okay,
always
fine,
say
here
that,
you
and
go.
they don't want to actually see anything early, and they don't want to know what's coming out. They want things right away. Doesn't matter what they say otherwise.
It's playable, and he's. I don't think he's visited Ninja Theory. At least he hasn't posted about it publicly on Twitter. But
they probably don't have anything close enough to bother looking at. They'll be a few years out.
It's already been greenlit. Whatever they're working on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're working on the thing, right? Project Mara.
Potentially that and some other stuff.
I'm assuming there's more than that too, but yeah.
I want Hellblade 3. I do.
Probably a little while,
definitely do.
But I think they'll do it. As long as you can run and hit people again the same way.
Did you guys talk about? You guys already talked about that, right? Craig Duncan thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Craig Duncan is now the head of Xbox Studios. That was last week. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. State of Decay 2 got its final major content update, number 38. And the team is now moved fully onto the development of State of Decay 3. Interesting thing to say in their final update, but I guess they had a small subsection of the team that weren't working on the new stuff, and now that team is moving on.
They'd been working with Valkyrie until Valkyrie was bought by Sony, and then they started working with Wushu, who are owned now by Keyword, but Keyword still is entirely about, hey, you want to pay us? Awesome, that's our thing. So they had I felt like the Rare overlooking Battletoads type of, like, somebody else is doing the work that we guide them to do type of thing. So I can't imagine it was a huge team.
Yeah,
and then I mean that game's a quiet juggernaut. Like, it just kept going. Hey, pun intended. Pun not intended, but I'll say pun intended.
It really did. I mean, I spoke about it a little bit on Headlines with Jess on Thursday, but it frustrated me in that the co-op experience wasn't what I wanted it to be with State of Decay 2. Like, I wanted to go in with a group of friends.
And I'm sure even the developers were frustrated.
Yeah, they talked about it a lot. The tech issues with having a continuous world that everyone could just jump into.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's it now for State of Decay 2, but hopefully State of Decay 3 fixes some of those problems that I disliked. And
they have way more budget to do so. And a lot better tech, and they're part of that Unreal Engine core at Xbox. That, like, they've got a whole big motion capture studio, and they seem to be all in on finally doing the vision they had for the first Xbox Live Arcade
probably
release.
Helping them out. I wouldn't be surprised.
And Obsidian with there's been talk about
they actually mentioned that they
sharing tech from everything, and like Obsidian and figuring out all the like how good co-op is and grounded and that type of stuff. So
yeah. So yeah, that's cool. Xbox is teaming up with Mountain Dew, Doritos, and Rockstar in the US. It really does feel like the Xbox of old. Where's Jeff Keighley? Has he been wheeled out with a bag of Doritos anywhere yet? No? Is the Dorito Pope?
Make him do it at the TGAs.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it's cool promotion. When the last time they had one for Halo, I could not find it anywhere, even though like I went to like 5-6 different stores in Michigan. Could not see it. I'm hoping I can catch some of these.
Yeah, it is USA only again, because as we have been told repeatedly, these types of things are really hard to do internationally, so they don't bother because of all the rules and regulations. So it's not just it's Game Pass codes for new members. It's which means just make a dummy account and use it if you want. It is a bunch of DLC, like very specific. There's a plane you can get. I'll load up my article for it. Just for people who didn't hear about it, it is
Like a plane in what?
Microsoft Flight Sim 2024.
A Mountain Dew Ericsson S64 Air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the new one too, 2024, you got 7 different things, including battle tier skips and various weapon looks in Diablo 4. You got a bunch of shit in World of Warcraft. You get a Ultimate Team exclusive player in Madden, or an in-game costume in the Elder Scrolls, and the big prize you can potentially win is the Series X digital robot white console, which I wrote as Siri X and forgot to put the S on there.
That's funny.
I'll tell you what's interesting. You know what Microsoft have done here, right, with this marketing campaign? This is a marketing campaign. No, this is a marketing campaign for Black Ops 6.
Yes.
But they contractually can't advertise Game Pass with Black Ops 6 out in the general market, presumably, because we haven't seen them do that. So what are they doing? Have a look at what they're doing. Yes, they're offering you content for other games, but they're giving away new members only. Come and try Game Pass codes, right?
Yeah.
And they're giving away stuff for other games. They've not made a mention. There's not a Black Ops 6 bottle. Why is that? Well, this doesn't really need to be. But what will members find when they redeem their 1-month code? Well, fuck me. Black Ops 6 is on here. And off they go to the races. And that's very smart,
the hardest thing to do is to get someone to sign up for something. Once they are signed up, they're in. And generally, that is the hard thing they're going for.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. Go get some energy drinks and Dorito.
Mountain Dew has some zero sugar ones too. They taste pretty good.
The Mountain Dew Zero are actually very good.
Yeah,
way better than Diet Mountain Dew for sure.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew was originally a mixer for booze as a syrup, and then they put that syrup in soda water, and then good.
That's funny.
And Coca-Cola had cocaine.
Yes, that is the most wildest thing I've ever heard. Like,
cocaine was just like a cure-all, panacea. Like this was back in those days.
God.
Do you know what I've realised is great tonight is the clocks go back for me. So it's 1 a.m. here.
It's horrible for the website. If you are scheduling anything on XboxEra.com for the next week, Ursel, we are 1 hour closer to the Brits, so it messes everything up. If you're -5, you're -4 for 1 week.
Okay.
The site should understand the difference. The site
it doesn't, because I have to set it to your time. I have to set it to BST or GMT.
Yeah.
I don't set it to EST.
It's up to us. Yeah. The site's
I
in
set
BST.
to you. The whole site is always your time.
So we'll
that's
just
what
need
I
to
mean.
know that.
So it doesn't matter. You know it's in GMT, so you just set it.
But we're used to BST being +5. Just for this week, you got to know it's +4. Is essentially.
And if you've set anything in the past at +5, you're going to be off. You're going to be an hour late. It doesn't adjust it.
If you set something for 5 p.m. on Tuesday, it will go out at 5 p.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's assuming the embargo, it gives us a time in BST. What if it gives us time in PST, which it does often, right? Then I convert that to my own time, and then I convert that, add 5 hours to
And
PST.
if I set it before anything changed on the website, so if I set it, I haven't set Dragon Age yet, because I haven't set Dragon Age yet, because I'm like, if I set Dragon Age before your clock changes, I'm going to be an hour late if I do it now. And if I do it the other way, maybe it'll work, but I also might be early if I messed up in any way. So it's not worth scheduling.
You watch some cheeky outlets mess up. Oops, we're sorry, publisher. The time's changed.
You know what they do? They put AM instead of PM on stuff like that all the time. And then they're the only one to have a review all day. And they go, oops, we've got our 100,000 views. Let's hide it.
Yeah. Oops, sorry, guys. Yeah. But there you go. But it's gonna hit 2 a.m. and it'll be 1 a.m. again. So
that's nice. See, if you're sleeping, it's an extra hour of sleep. But when I was a kid, and probably again next week, it's actually an hour lost for me because I just stay up and I'm like, oh hey, it's only 1 a.m. Let me stay up another
The
hour.
worst for me was when I used to work night shifts.
Ooh,
And then you get there, you'd be like, it's 2 a.m. It's 1 a.m. Am I being paid an extra hour? No.
You're not being paid the extra hour? That's
No.
crazy. That's crazy.
Bullshit it was.
Oh, by the way,
Anyways.
one thing we don't have in there tomorrow, AOC is playing Madden with Tim
Oh
Walls.
God. Yeah, I saw that.
No politics, Jess.
That's not. It's on
Come
Twitch.
on.
They're playing video games. That's it. Next
Oh, it's
question.
video
Next
game
topic.
related. Okay, that's
They're
allowed.
playing.
There
They're
you go.
playing Madden.
Fun. Anyway, other bits of news, little
Pretty
bits.
small stuff this week.
Sniper Elite Resistance was announced, and it's coming to Game Pass on January the 30th, 2025. That is from the folks at Rebellion,
We're
and joins
busy.
their other title,
Yeah.
Atomfall, which is coming out in March.
Yeah,
I
so
believe.
they've got 2 games in the first 3 months, both on Game Pass. I really like. I'll gladly pick up the mantle from our old friend Harmonica, who used to do all the Rebellion stuff for us. I like their games quite a bit. This is them essentially going back to what they love, which is shooting Nazis in the balls. They show Hitler at the end of this trailer, like always. You can assume you shoot him in the nuts. They're showing off the co-op play because these games are always super fun co-op. Really weird looking protagonist. He almost looks like a fake, like, asset store bought model compared to what they normally use, but whatever. It's cool. It's on Game Pass day one, and I'm really looking forward to Atomfall as well. That game was interesting as hell when I played it at Gamescom.
Yeah, and they released a video for Atomfall and then made the video
Whoops.
private for some reason. We did have an article up. The video
Yeah, what
was
was that?
private. I don't know. Maybe they just it was an early
It
build.
was like
maybe they
a
didn't
accidentally
release it.
showed on the weekend, probably before it was supposed to be, type of thing.
Sorry, I
Whoopsie-daisy.
realized you guys probably didn't talk about this. I added a new news piece because that's relatively big in the gaming industry.
We did that last week.
Really?
Oh no,
I
I just
didn't have-
deleted that
I-
actually. I just deleted it. Yeah, it is relatively big. The Joseph Staten studio being shut down by Netflix.
The Netflix's AAA studio shut down. That's pretty big. That's pretty.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is in that there was a AAA studio that we'd never seen a game come out of, and the game was never announced, and the people that were hired for it have been.
The rumor
let
was
go.
a Rebel Moon game,
Yeah.
and that those
Yeah.
movies flopped. So that would probably be why.
Well,
if
I
it was
feel
that.
like it's bigger and more so because it's another player trying to enter the gaming sphere.
and
AAA-wise.
realizing, oh, this is hard.
Yes.
And real-
Google's
like-
there, Google failed, Netflix there, Netflix did backed out. Amazon, I'm not sure if they're making a AAA game.
They made 17 MMOs.
Yeah, literally. Which I guess you could say AAA. But like Amazon's probably the only one of these bigger companies that are still in gaming. I don't know. That's it. And also there's some rumor speculation that a week before this announcement, Halo Studios creative director slot was filled. There's some rumors. Just saying.
I think you're dreaming, bro.
Oh, I
Staten
don't care. Regardless, I don't need him in. the Halo
Staten's not
field,
coming
be
back to
honest.
Halo.
In Pierre, we trust, bro. In Pierre, we trust.
Yes. So yeah, that's some news. Monster Hunter Wilds is getting an open beta at the end of the month, right? Is it this month or next month? But no, it's end of this month, but only on PlayStation 5
29th for one day, I believe. They have
for one weekend, and then the next weekend.
Was
is
it the full
everybody.
weekend? I thought it was
I think
literally
so.
today.
Well, it's a couple days. That game looks amazing. As that game, and I think you'll agree with me, Ursel, that is the type of game you should go full Nick and skip every cutscene. They're really bad. But the games themselves look amazing. Like, this game is what I wanted because Monster Hunter has always been handheld first and held back severely by that. And then World was amazing because it was console and PC first, and it was just so much bigger and better gameplay wise than what they could do on a DS in a,
So sorry, really quick. I
PSP.
did check it. Xbox can play October 31st, 8 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is the exclusivity date for
It's kind of a
PlayStation?
weird image. I'm just gonna post it in the Discord. But it's just a weird image. And in terms of the cutscene stuff, see, I want to agree with you because they are nonsense and they're stupid.
Yeah, so they get 3
What?
days early on PlayStation. It's the 28th
Yeah, they get
on
28th,
PlayStation.
29th, 30th. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
You
of
can
course.
still play the 31st for some reason on Xbox, and Steam. Ooh, that's makes Steam players mad.
Well, that's when it
But the reason why you
starts,
shouldn't skip the cutscenes is because your player characters there in like the armor that you have them on, and they do cool stuff.
I don't care.
Every
I still
Monster
skip
Hunter
them.
game,
They're so
your player
painful.
characters do really cool things, dude. Like it's fun to see.
Yeah, it's real over the top. It's real fun. I enjoyed the hell out of playing them. This one looks crazy, even if some of the monster designs are a little
Yeah,
weird.
a little wacky.
They're weird.
Yeah.
They're
Yep. Yep.
they're very. I don't know. They don't look like Monster Hunter designs as much, which is fine. It's like a different area with different beasts, I guess. So that's cool. Yeah. I wouldn't call them as immediately recognizable and iconic as some of the cooler ones.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
It's coming out. Hopefully, hey, see if you can push for multiple codes because Monsters always.
I always do.
It's full player co-op.
I always
really
push for extra, but with Capcom, we're lucky to get
John,
one.
you want to play Monster Hunter? Have you played any of the previous ones?
I honestly, there was one of the best demos of a game I saw throughout the entirety of Summer Games.
You didn't play it, right?
Didn't get to play it. But
I don't know that they had it there to play. They were showing it off to people. And
yeah, I was in the same room with Keely and Phil. And
Gamescom had a big line for people to play it if they wanted to. It was a huge line, right? It was like 4 or 5 hours.
It was easier to get into watching it than it was to get into play it.
But the reason I asked is because it's very peculiar. Like I literally every time someone asks if they want to play Monster Hunter, I'm like, play it, but watch a 15-minute tutorial on whatever weapon you want.
It's decades of them perfecting the way weapons work, and you need to know it. Now you can enjoy it without it.
Essential knowledge.
You can enjoy the game without it, but it will get hard eventually in a way where you're like, I don't actually understand all the cool shit I can do with this weapon. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time looking it up and getting it. Like I'm all in on the insect glaive. I just always focus on that thing, and I've gotten, and it's one of the hardest ones. But it's super fun, and you're just dashing around and flipping and doing all these weird things and getting buffs. But there are easier ones as well.
Yeah, Monster Hunter games their enjoyment comes in 2 ways. One, mastering your weapon, and you can only master your weapon if you know how to master it, like the path towards it. You're like, oh, I use this combo now, that combo, blah blah blah. 2, learning the monsters. Once you know a monster well enough that you can predict everything they're doing, oh God, you feel like a king, like a raid boss yourself, where you're like, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Like, straight up.
Awesome.
Great game. Great
And they are incredibly grindy. You are grinding for mats to get all the different types of weapons you need to go after different types of monsters. The same weapon, but different variants of it that do better against certain things.
You keep playing past 60, 70 hours. Like you can if you want to.
Yeah,
but like
it gives you the
option.
option.
Fight every monster once if you want.
You can get through the story, beat everything once. If you want to keep going for 250 more hours, the grind is available. But it is just a grind at that point. It's not a story content. Oh, I'm missing out.
But you'll need to do the grind, at least a little bit of it, if you want to play the DLC that eventually comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when I was doing Iceborne. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, straight up. Oh God.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping I'd like to try it
for free,
especially.
So I'll try and get you a code.
Good, so
really good game.
I would like to try it,
but it takes commitment. Is what I'm saying. Like, don't be too turned off.
See, that worries me. You know what it's like in this industry, dude. We don't have the time to commit.
It clicks, and you're like, "Oh, I get it. I get it." This is why
if it's co-op, it's fun. It's worth it.
Yeah, I'd need it to click with 3 other dedicated people, though. So
I will ask for extra codes, but knowing our luck, it will be 1, I hope. And it will be me. I will take it. There's only any of you can say. It's going to be rough because I will have just probably done Avowed, and I'm going to have to give up Assassin's Creed or something. I don't know. There's too many way too much shit coming out.
Right. It's good news for the rest of us.
February is going to be insane. I don't know how we're going to get through
well,
that.
Fairy is like, yes, he was so excited when Assassin's Creed got delayed because it probably meant it's his. But there's also going to be
I could do
Yakuza.
Assassin's Creed.
Fairy will probably find where you live and kill you. But there's also Pirate Yakuza right at that same time, so that'll be up for someone.
Maybe I can get Harmonica to come back for because he loves the Yakuza game.
Oh yeah,
he plays it to death. He'd give a fair view.
Yeah, February is insane. Like, holy crap!
It's
Ninefall's coming out soon too. Wonder when that is.
Which one?
But yeah, the only other story I'm going to bother touching on is just
November 26th. Oh, flip. Okay.
It's just a quick note on Ubisoft. Dear old Ubisoft. Per Insider Gaming and some other folks confirming it, and then in a statement to Eurogamer, not to Insider Gaming, funnily enough, they first reported Insider Gaming that Ubisoft had disbanded the team that developed.
It wasn't them first. It was a podcast where one of the team members talked, and then Tom looked into it and got the full story.
Okay. Thank you,
John.
For the clarification. I was just trying to give Insider Gaming some props.
I know, but they would want it to be correct props.
but he wrote exclusive on his headline, so clearly
For why it happened, not what happened.
But either way, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, one of the best games of the year. That team's been disbanded, moving to different projects internally within Ubisoft, from Beyond Good and Evil 2 to others.
But that game doesn't exist still, does it?
No, it
still
does.
exists.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No way.
They rebooted it in 2017. The ship tech for going from the ground to the air in Star Wars is from there in the new version. Like, yeah, no, it's still a thing. It's got a new. The game lead on it passed away last year, and it has a new game lead.
Yeah.
No, they're going to spend like $1 billion to get that thing out because they're idiots. Who?
It's a bummer,
Yeah.
and there's going to be no sequel for what is an incredible.
At least not anytime soon. The game director said they're not giving up. There will be new Prince of Persia things, but I mean, like they're doing the Rogue Prince, which is very good. Just had some nice updates. Also, Hades 2 had some amazing updates. That game might be an all-timer again.
Hades is the game that needed DLC. There you go. I knew I had another answer.
Yeah, yes. And that DLC became Hades 2, which might be even better. It's better than Hades,
Exactly.
and I fucking loved Hades. But Hades 2 got updates. Amazing. When you have proper scope on your stuff and proper expectations on what something should be priced and what it can do in its genre, you get Hades. And when you don't, you have Ubisoft, who have an amazing game, but don't know how to sell it and price it correctly. And you get the Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, where it's a disappointment despite being utterly amazing and doing about 1 million copies.
Yeah, it sucks.
Okay. Here's where I have a small rant, because I kind of disagree with a lot of the majority opinion on this. I'm kind of not blaming Ubisoft for Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. They did their job. They greenlit a game. They published a game that was fantastic, well made. The team made a great game. The publisher provided them the resources to do it. Blah blah blah.
They priced it $20
They priced it at $50, which is expensive because games are now $70. This game would have been $40 previously, which is a fair price in my opinion for the game. It's pretty long, right? Yeah, on that I'll kind of agree. But
Well, that is the point I
had
was
another
talking
way.
about.
They had another way to access the game though, which is how I played it. You can just sub on any console or PC to their subscription, and it's more affordable to play the game. Right? That's literally how I played it. In fact, I was on the final boss and I got kicked out in the last phase because it's like your monthly subscription expired. Damn it. So close.
And
Either
that's
way.
why you don't get most people to do it, because they would probably play this for months.
Well,
to
I
finally
made a
beat
mistake
it.
and didn't
Yeah.
didn't play it enough when I got it. But either way, in my opinion, a large part of the onus, a large part of the blame is on the players, man. They got a great game, a fantastic game. They chose not to purchase it. They chose not to talk about it. Like, that's on them just as much as it is on Ubisoft. Same thing with Hi-Fi Rush, completely honest, man. Hi-Fi Rush, I don't blame Microsoft here. I blame the people that have Game Pass subscriptions that still didn't play the game and just talked about it. You know what I mean?
A little
there
bit,
is
except
some
for
level of blame there.
the only issue with the game were the expectations put on it by Ubisoft. That is why the team is disbanded and why the sequel was not greenlit.
Yeah.
Like, that is
I
the
don't
thing
disagree,
people are
but
mad about.
I feel like people looked at it, saw that it's a 2D game, and kind of wrote it off. And then, of
Metroidvanias
course,
don't
there's a
sell
whole
well.
anti-woke crowd and all that.
Like, Dead
Yeah,
Cells
they
is the
don't. That's the
exception, but that took years and years in early access and is a specific thing.
Yeah.
Metroid Dread, Game of the Year, everyone loved it, sold like 3 million. Like, it's not, you don't get crazy 10, 15, 20 million sales out of Metroidvanias, and they wanted 3 million in a year out of this game. They wanted Metroid Dread numbers at launch, essentially, is what
Lost
they
Crown
said.
was essentially a AAA-ish as it gets Metroidvania. That and like Ori, I'd say, are like the two in that area. It looked beautiful. It played beautiful. Great voice acting. Good cutscenes. Like, it had everything. You know? I don't know. I don't feel comfortable blaming just Ubisoft here. I feel like there is
Did
some level of,
you
you guys got a great game. You didn't buy it. You can't ask for this stuff. You can't ask for this stuff and be like, I want it. It comes and then be like, oh, actually, I don't want to pay for it. It doesn't work like that. It's like the people that are mad that MCC doesn't have updates anymore. And it's like, hey, they tried to add some monetization and you guys blew a gasket, and then they stopped adding more updates to it. I wonder why. Like, you know, there's some level of back and forth with the customer, the purchasing power, and the person making the product.
Yeah. I don't know if I fully agree, but I get where you're coming from.
I get where I'm coming from, except for it's Ubisoft.
Yeah.
This still
failed.
This only failed because of their poor expectation management, much like Square Enix had.
I don't.
at the time.
It's like Square a little bit there, right? Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
And I tell you who is mad about it. The Didact. Because he says, He's an Xbox Hero Patreon, so he has a voice here amongst this crew, and he's loved. He says, "Hey fellas, this year sure has been great for Ubisoft. I mean, they released a Game of the Year contender, right? I wonder who will go on stage to receive awards now that the team is disbanded. Anyways, my question is, if you guys were running Ubisoft and looked at publishers that are having some of their best years in such a while, like Sega and Konami, what would you learn from them? Are massive layoffs there inevitable at this point?
Every issue is down to management and scope.
Yes.
Everything they make is way too expensive. Because
If too many people, I mean,
it's not. It's awful. The main issue is everything they make goes way over budget. That is it. That is 99% of it. Everything they make goes way beyond when it's supposed to, time wise, and costs way more. And they're still doing. They're going to have 20 years of working on Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's going to be $1 billion game just because of that. It can never make that back ever.
Also, really quick, the team being disbanded isn't like a blanket bad thing, by the way. I know people kind of treat it like it. It means they were not laid off. They weren't let go. Team's still there. They're moving on. In fact, now the rumor is there's a good amount of them on a 3D Rayman, which is...
Yeah, Rayman.
3D Rayman and the Beyond Good and Evil 2 game, which everyone at Ubisoft dreads having to work on, supposedly.
I mean, do I need a sequel for Lost Crown? Not really. I like the game. I played it. I really enjoyed it. I'm okay with that, too.
Shut up.
I mean, I'd rather do a 3D Rayman. That's really exciting. I was never a 2D Rayman guy, but Rayman Legends 2, that was my
3D
game.
platformers mean nothing to me.
Yeah. Couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But yes, there you go. That is pretty much like everything. So we may as well use this wonderful opportunity to dive in to a little game of Name a Game.
Which I need to give you a new code for.
Name a game this? Oh, god dang it. I suck.
Yeah, it is. I also, you got to vamp a little bit because I haven't changed the video over. I am.
Is there a new video?
I can rant about Ubisoft all
No,
the
I was
time.
on what year still?
Oh, well, you know.
Hey, by the way, guess what? It's time for Name a Game. And we're back. Hello, gentlemen. This is why I'm normally like an hour and a half to. I'm normally preparing the show for about 2 hours before we go live. I only had about half an hour today because I was doing a bunch of stuff. So everything's just a little behind.
Okay.
Kolkenstein in the chat. Are we playing COD after this? Sick. Yeah, I'll jump on for a few games if folks are around. Because technically I'm going to time travel back to 1 a.m. and I'll stay up till 2 again. So why not? This is Name a Game. If you're new to Xbox Era and you don't know what this is our weekly game show where we seize upon the opportunity to show our gratitude towards our patrons by usually Nick, who's not here, so Ursul's going to take his place, and I fighting to win one of our patrons, chosen at random, a new game code from Jesse's big list of game codes. Because we love our patrons and we adore them and we want to reward them in every way we possibly can. And if you want to become a legend like the rest of that wonderful community and be in for a chance to win a new game code from Jesse's big list of game codes, head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. It's like as little as a cup of coffee a month. Boom. You support us and get free stuff sometimes, maybe, if you're lucky, if one of us wins, if you're on my team. Anyways, I've been warned that this week's is absolutely ludicrous and very silly. So I will take a moment to just tell our patrons who is being played for, and apparently that is. I hope Nick changed these from last time. Did he? Did he?
Whoever won last time didn't message me, so
okay.
I have no idea if he changed it.
I'm going to pick people that we're going to play for Brit because I don't think anyone's ever played for Brit before, and we're going to play for Kolkenstein because I don't think anyone's ever played for him either.
We definitely have, but we lost. He didn't win.
Oh, okay.
You lost, I believe, John, and you didn't even care about him enough to remember you did. All right.
Great.
The category for this week in honor of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 are first-person shooters.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And it doesn't mean just military mills. It's anything from a first-person's perspective with aiming and shooting, essentially.
Wait, 1 second. Refresh the rules for Name a Game. It's been a minute.
I'm going to give you an over-the-top. So there's 4 over-the-top ludicrous ones this week. And then the other ones are all okay.
Kolkenstein has been played for you, right? So I'm going to put Mort in there.
Nice.
He's probably been played for too, but whatever.
He probably has, but I'm going to put him on my team. So show me some support, Mort.
Sup, Mort.
Yeah, I'm not feeling confident at all.
I'm just going to give you a fake name of a game, and then you've got to try and guess what I'm talking about. No examples needed this week because we are starting.
Hey, you write it down somewhere too, right? In the chat?
I'm putting it into private chat because I have to, because look at how fucking long this one is. It is Dissipate, Lift Descendants, Monarch, Chinese for Empathy, the legitimate meat, MEET, of the picture.
Dissipate, Lift Descendants? Is that 2 words or 1 word?
One, when it's all together.
Dissipate, Lift Descendants.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Chinese for empathy. I know this. God damn it.
It is this many words total. A whole 10.
Okay, I was going to say
10 words for one video game.
Dissipate.
Fuck's sake.
Lift
Dissipate,
Descendants?
Lift Descendants, Monarch, Chinese for empty, the legitimate meat, MEET, of the picture.
Okay, wait. We know the game, right?
horrible.
Like, if you gave me the game's name, I'd recognize
This
it.
is
would we
one of
know
the ones
this?
you would know. You might not know some of the other ones. I don't care.
Would we have played this, both of us?
Yes, probably.
What the hell? Chinese for empty.
There's only
Oh?
one game that's ever had this stupid of a name.
Oh, that's fair.
It is
the
a
legitimate meat
licensed
picture.
property.
Licensed property. God, I feel so stupid. It's gonna be something so obvious. God damn it. Okay, the legitimate meat of the picture. Is the, right? The is just the, right?
That is just the.
Okay, all right. Legitimate. The painting? What?
Is this a Eureka? You just need to get a little bit of it,
No.
then the rest comes.
No.
No one in chat's got it yet.
No one in
This
chat's
is
got it
hard.
either?
No.
Dissipate? So obviously that's flipping.
You don't say it loud unless you're Nick, and then you
No,
get upset.
no.
How did John get that? Oh, you gave it to him, Nick.
No, but I work out loud.
Just mute yourself
Lift
then.
Descendants, 1 word?
I know, it might not be the best podcast to listen to if you're muted, actually.
Yeah. Lift Descendants, 1 word, right?
Yes.
Again, sorry.
Yep.
The hell does that mean? Lift Descendants.
There is a person's name in this. It
Oh.
begins it. The first 2 words are a name. And I'm going to start the timer soon. Starting it now. 9, 8, 7, 6,
Okay, I got the
5,
first 2 words.
4,
There's
3,
too many games.
2, 1. Nobody buzzed in. It is. You buzzed in now? It's up to John if he wants to give it to you.
No, I don't have the game. Don't get
All
me
right.
wrong.
It is.
I know it's
The
Tom
only thing I can think
know it's
is
Tom
I
Clancy.
think it's going to be that fucking thing, but I can't remember the
Is it
full
Vegas? Is it the flipping Tom Clancy
name.
Vegas
No,
game?
I think it's
Which Tom Clancy game is this? How many first-person
no,
shooters?
no. It's a movie license, and
Mhm.
I'm just
It is.
I can't think of
Oh.
all of the words. And as we know from Nick's rants, he wouldn't give us the point.
Hey, we're buzzed out. What's your thought?
We're
Maybe we can
buzzed
get this
out.
together. Maybe we can get this together.
The legitimate meat of the picture.
Yeah.
It's stupid because the game, I'm sure, is it King Kong? Is it something like, because I remember it was like the game of the movie or the movie of the
movie
game, or the
It is.
it was like
King
the
Kong,
360
Just let me
launch
say it.
title.
Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie.
Oh my god. Okay, what the
Peter, dissipate, it's petered out.
Jack
Lift.
Sons.
Petered out? Oh, come on.
Yes. How else do I say Peter? All right. Lift Descendants. Jack Sons. Monarch. King. Chinese for empty. Kong. The legitimate, the official meat game of the picture movie.
Yeah.
I would never have gotten that.
Yeah.
I played the game. I have played
And
the
that's
game.
frustrating because I think I've got that once before in a long time ago in the name of game. But
It was even dumber when I did it that time.
Yeah.
All right. This one,
Did
not a
anyone
big
chat
game.
get it, by the way?
There's a real mix. There's old things that John might get. There's newer things that Ursula will probably know better, especially because it references anime characters.
Yeah, let's go.
But number 2, to see if we can get anything correct this week, it is a bunch of words, and it's got 2 colons in it, believe it or not. It is Smooch, Crazy Carnival, The Torment Offspring.
Can you
Can you
post it?
put that in the
I'm
chat?
just-
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, both of us are like, what the hell did he say? Smooch. That's pretty obvious.
I believe this is an old PC game from the 90s.
Fucking hell.
The first
my
three words are something people who like shitty rock and roll music would know.
Yeah, I mean, I got the first word, obviously, and I got the third word. The second one's throwing me off a little bit. I definitely have not played this
It was
before.
always the thing about them, their whole blankety blank. But then what's the actual game's name was the last three words.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah.
So
second word I
it's
didn't get, but
okay. Look,
you want to work it through? Let's work it through. All right. You give me the last
okay.
three. I'll give you the first. I did not listen to this band, by the way, and not really. Maybe a few of their songs, but that's it. The Torment Offspring.
fucking hell, the Torment Offspring. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go for this.
Soul,
I'm gonna go
Soul
for this.
already
Okay.
buzzed.
Soul's already
Soul
buzzed, okay.
already
I'm not gonna
buzzed.
get it right. I'm not gonna get it right.
All right.
It's Kiss. I'm gonna get the second word wrong, so I'm gonna skip it for now. But it's Kiss something party.
Nope.
The Raging Children.
Nope. Party, raging,
I-
children, all wrong. John, what do you think it is?
Okay.
Kiss, something circus.
Circus. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a S sound to begin with for the second word.
Chaotic is what my originally thinking.
No, that's not a S sound. That's a K sound.
What? Carnival is a sus sound, not circus.
No. He's
No.
saying the word
Circus.
Second word.
Yeah, second word. I'm trying to help you, see if you can get a point.
Silly.
All right, no, it is Kiss, Psycho Circus.
Wait,
The night you got it wrong.
The tortured child.
Incorrect. The Nightmare Child.
Ah.
Oh man.
But also, you didn't get Psycho anyway, so I wouldn't give it to you.
Psycho.
Okay.
Kiss,
Psycho.
colon,
Psycho
Psycho Circus, colon, the Nightmare Child.
You know, that's kind of coming back to me now.
Yep.
The first three words.
It's the, first person.
Yeah.
Garbage. All right, here we go. Next one. This one also has an acronym in it that I could have done that would have made it unbelievably long, but I did not. It is, there you two go. 0 folks exist infinitely. 2, a mole in danger's path. Classic, one of the best FPS games ever made at its time.
Flip. I know the name, but I don't know the ending. What's the last one? Fudge. Damn it. God damn it. What the hell? I know like everything but the last two words.
And the
I
word
don't
the
know this
word
game.
dangers is standing in for an entire acronym.
I don't know what this is.
I've literally
0
done the first.
folks.
I've done the first one of these before.
Oh my god. Yeah, you have. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't know the name of the first four words? Well, anyways, okay. I know the
They
first
neither
four
of them seem to have heard of this game.
words. Yo, John, just give me the last two.
I
I
don't
love these
know.
games, but they are tied in rights hell because they had like 7 publishers.
Dude, I've only
Xbox
played-
owns half
I've
of
only
them
seen, like, four.
0 folks exist infinitely.
Yeah, John won't get this. Crap. Dangerous Path
Right.
threw me off. Flip. Okay. No One Lives Forever 2. A Spy in... Fudge.
This one's an
Dangerous
acronym. What
Path.
would the acronym be for this type of game?
No One Lives Forever 2. A Spy in... An acronym for this type of game? What the hell does that mean? For, like, Dangerous Path itself is an acronym or just Dangers?
Dangers.
A Spy in...
Starting the timer. It's 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4,
Spy in Hell's
three.
Way?
2, 1. Incorrect.
What is it? What's the full name?
Is John gonna guess?
No, no, bro. There's no way.
A mole is it so sorry, explain this to me. The whole of those words after the colon is an acronym.
No.
No,
The word
just
danger
Dangerous.
is an acronym.
So it's a mole in an acronym's path. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes,
It's
but
the
you've
only
got
word
10
I need to
seconds.
translate.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
I don't know.
4,
Danger.
3,
Fear's Way?
2,
No. Spy in
1.
Laser's Way?
0. You were correct. It is Harm's. Harm's Way. H.A.M.R.M.S. I don't remember what Harm's stands for in that. I believe it is the bad guy organization.
Oh, it's a No One Lives Forever 2, A Spy in Harm's Way.
Correct. You were one word off. Sorry, Nick. He was a word off.
deserve a point for that.
Dang
I don't
it.
deserve a point for that.
You don't get one.
Good.
You didn't ever buzz, so you don't get one. If you had gotten it correct, I wasn't going to give it to you.
I didn't. Right.
That's funny.
All right. The next one is 3 words. Those words are Immaculate Shadow, not. John.
Damn, he buzzed first.
Perfect. Dark.
Zero. God,
Correct.
dang it.
I did the
That
one
was
that
easy.
you do
Oh,
as your
the
example.
knot got me for a bit. I would have buzzed in immediately, but the knot got me for a bit.
I thought it would be fun to finally do the one John always uses as his example.
Yeah, I was gonna say Immaculate Shadow. I know for Perfect Dark. I should have clicked it.
All right. Next one. John's up 1-0 finally. It is one word. That word is derision.
Derision.
Derision. Check out Perfect Dark pretty right off the bat. They're all on the ball.
Yeah. Derision. Oh my god. One word.
Derision.
No, I'm starting up the timer.
Right.
I need to
Just
find
right.
derision. Did you just search up the definition for derision?
You're not allowed to
No,
look up anything.
I'm just
Okay,
saying.
good.
You just ride something.
Is it
All
derived
right,
something?
starting the timer. I will give you
Derived.
one hint. The hint is I reviewed this Game Pass day 1 release. 5, 4, 3, 2. I gave it a 4. 1. Soul.
Oh, flip. Oh, flip. What's that game called again?
Starting the timer.
I
10,
don't realise
9,
we were
Super Dory
doing
stuff.
timers,
7,
God.
6,
No, whoa, chill, chill.
5, 4,
Ah.
3,
Ah.
2,
No,
1.
It sucks. It's a sucking game. God.
Scorn. And you can't buzz in. It was already too late.
Oh, I buzzed before the timer ran out.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
No, this was the
man.
second timer. The first timer was to buzz in. The second timer was for him to answer.
right then.
I was saying Gorn.
Gorn is the VR game where you hit things.
It was, right? Oh, I knew it was something earned. That was
All right. The next one. And by the way, when that first timer goes up, if you don't buzz in by it, you don't get to buzz in.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 words. It's going to look like a lot more than 2 words, but it's 2 words. The tiny, most powerful god from Dragon Ball Super, fight.
Oh my god. The tiniest one?
This was an Ursula one.
What the hell? No.
The tiny, most powerful god. Well, there's gods. You know, I got to write gods. 2 of them.
I know there's 2 of them. God
From
damn it.
Dragon Ball
Wins.
Super, fight.
Uh,
This is an old classic game who I did a review of the 3rd in the series, and I did not like it, unlike other people who loved it.
it's something battle. Flip.
John.
I don't know their names at all.
Final fight.
No.
No, you can't
Okay.
fight, bro. It's already in there.
Yeah, why do we fight again? What the fuck? Terrible guess. You
I
lose a
don't know.
point.
It's battle. It's
What?
definitely battle. But,
It's not battle.
It's not battle?
No.
Huh. Wait. I mean, I lost the point because I don't know their names. I'll be honest. I watched
Xeno Clash. God,
This is a tough
I've only
one,
got
dude.
4 more, so it's going to be
This is
whoever
a
has
tough
more
one.
if we don't
This
get
is-
to 3.
Harsh. This is a harsh.
You've never
game.
played Xenoclash?
Man, search the most obscure FPS games.
Xenoclash is not obscure, and I did Clash Artifact of Chaos last year. That was like the 3rd one from them.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
shut the
really
fuck
good
up.
game, dude. That was a
All right,
really
another
good
one
game.
that's going to help with Ursel. It is
Ugh,
Ben
Come on.
Starr's Final Fantasy 16 character, guy who yells at carnivals, Tony Stark's missile system in Iron Man.
This is one
3
word?
words.
Oh, each word is a separate line.
When there's
Okay.
a space. 3 words total. Ben Starr's Final Fantasy 16 character, guy who yells at carnivals. Also, my missus' last name. Tony Stark's missile system in Iron Man.
Why am I blanking? right?
First 2 words are a person's name.
yeah,
The
yeah, I
third
kinda
word is also a
Um,
name, but it's not used as a name.
Flip. Tony Stark's missile system in Iron Man.
The one where he goes like this and he holds his hands up and it blows up behind him. The blank missile system.
Oh, flip. Damn it.
Oh shit!
God damn
Okay,
it.
I know this game. I know this game now thanks to that clip. But who wrote the? It's a
John
fucking
buzzed
author.
first.
Fuck.
Starting the timer.
This was on
I don't know
OG
the name of the
Xbox.
missile.
This was on OG
10,
Xbox.
9,
I don't know the name of the
8,
missiles.
7,
fuck off.
6,
Oh my
5,
God.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Clive Barker's Jericho.
Damn it.
He got it.
Damn it. I knew it was something to J. I couldn't get the flipping missile name, man. Would have budged in the
How the
last
fuck
12
else do I
years.
get Clive out of that? All right,
Yeah, I know that worked well.
that one works. It's
I
long,
literally
Yeah.
but it
only
works.
got that from you.
The moment I
giving
said Clive, I'm like,
the-
okay, Clive Barker. Right? Who the hell is Clive Barker, by the way?
He,
Why do I know that?
writes-
He's an author.
Yeah, he writes
He's
horror,
a horror
yeah.
author.
Ah, okay, Jericho. I was
All right.
thinking Jarvis.
I'm just gonna put this one in there. This is the worst one I've ever done because I do not know
First, you
any
did
other way to
Microsoft
do
Flight
it.
Simulator one? No,
No, that
way.
was great. Tiny Squishy was awesome. Fuck off. Here's this one. Look at that. It is Hockey Hits, Journey 2, Lung Butter, dash, second half of Ass Piles, Conquer, Hockey Hits, second half of Superman's Work City. This is 1, 2, 3,
How many words is this?
4, 5, 6. 6 words. I'm going to say that this was a pack-in game when you bought something that had nothing to do with video games. Back in the old days of
I know
getting
the
a
first
disc.
Word. I know the last word. Shut up, dog. Can you guys hear that? The dog barking?
Barely.
Okay, good. All right.
This one
What?
was.
Sorry, this is a very American term. Hockey hits. I'm
No, no,
sorry.
That's a Canadian term.
I don't know
Okay.
what he's talking about, dude.
That is a Canadian term.
Yeah, yeah.
When you hit someone in hockey.
What's it called?
It is-
Penalty?
Yeah.
Do you want to be nice
it-
and give it to him, Ursel?
check?
When you check someone in hockey.
Okay, you check.
Yeah, so it's check blank 2 lung butter.
Lung butter, second half of Ass Piles is one word. And then Hockey Hits, second half of Superman's Work City is one word.
Yeah, so
Go with my computer, or you?
I don't know this game, but it's check.
It was a pack-in with cereal.
Why am I blanking on Journey? Journey just
Infamous
means,
cereal
field.
pack-in
Journey just means
for
like
PC.
travel or like adventure. Check adventure too. No, that makes no sense. Checkopolis.
For people like me in the US, it was probably more famous than either of you, but I just want to put in.
I've got like
Let's work together, bro. Check Journey. Some blank.
There's
2.
an S.
What
Hockey
was the
Hits.
third word?
Hockey Hits.
checks.
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 Right.
This is
It
not the
chucks
first
it.
one, though, John. This is the second one. You need the
Is
full
this,
name.
is this,
John
is
knows
this, is this,
Yes,
I mean,
this
I've
is
already lost
infamous.
is this the
Because-
caveman thing?
No.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't get this. Already lost the thing. So John, I'll help you win, bro. Checks Adventure 2.
No.
Something. Checks Field.
No.
Journey-
It's a very
Journey-
infamous pack-in game
Check
in America,
travel
I guess.
too?
No.
Checks Travel. Yeah.
No.
What the hell? How many ways can you say Journey, man?
Chex Quest.
That's the right one. So Checks Quest 2. Something. Checkopolis.
Not
Does that ring any
Checks-
bells for you?
Close.
Well, lung butter, phlegm, gymroid, because the second half of aspoils, so hemorrhoids, roids.
Oh.
One of you's
so
got to
lung
tag in
butter
first before you
roids.
say the whole thing.
I'm already.
Nope. John,
I-
can you get it, John?
checks quest 2.
Two.
Uh,
Phlegmroid? No.
no, spitroids,
Lung butter?
loogiroids,
What the hell's lung butter?
chexopolis. Yeah, loogiroids.
Oh, Loogie might be. Yeah. Loogiroid. Conquer means what? Like fight?
Checks quest 2, loogiroids.
Domination? Dominate?
Takes
Checkopolis.
Checks
Okay,
Chekhov's.
I buzzing. Give it a shot. Give it a
He
shot.
already did. Start on the timer. So that was it, Loogie. What were we? Chex Quest 2, what?
Loogiroids.
Nope, wrong.
Takes Chekhopolis.
You're close.
Phlegmroids.
Right.
I don't know. Like
Chex Quest 2, Phlegmoids. Take
He was
right with the phlegm.
Chex Tropolis. It's very close. I don't know if you want to give him the win. It's up to you, Ursel. I've got two more.
it's
I mean,
ridiculous.
it doesn't matter. I've already lost. So,
I know.
you
I
win.
said this is one of the harder ones. It was like,
Wait,
you know,
wait,
Nick's
two
not
more?
here, so I'm just
Oh,
going
I have a
to...
chance to tie then. I have a chance.
You have a chance to tie,
horrible.
in which case I'd have to come up with one off the fly.
We'll do Leviathan.
All
Votes.
right.
Leviathan calls.
The next one my wife got mad at me about. It is... Oh, I didn't freaking copy correctly. Hold on.
Terrible.
Boop,
This
boop,
game
boop.
so much.
Martian against P. Diddy. So,
Fuck! Wait, you didn't get that? Alien
I
versus
did,
Predator.
yeah. I just
Yeah,
was
you
a
just beat him.
second behind you.
Oh, I was gonna say I took a while buzzing in. I'm like, there's no way.
You better answer. I'm starting the timer.
Alien versus Predator.
Correct.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Don't sue us. P. Diddy, please don't invite me to a party.
I got a chance to tie this. I am in this.
All right, Jesus Christ. I'm going to open up an old one and just find it if you do tie it. All right, the last one for either John Wynn. I got to give you your pointer, so there we go.
Yeah, and you got
Clear
to reset the budget. Nice. All right.
I do around.
I just wanted to check, and I did just Google it because I was like, I think you got that wrong. Ursula said Alien versus Predator. It's actually Aliens versus.
Yeah, but you see the.
Oh yeah, I wrote Martian instead of
That's
Martians.
Martian.
It's on me.
Yeah.
As I've now clarified the actual name of the game. Wait, let me throw my toys out the pram for 15 minutes over silliness. Oh wait,
I gotta watch this episode. You guys.
no,
you don't
I
have
won't
to.
do that because I'm
We lost a patron over that because they really thought Nick and I were angry and mad at each other, and they said it was I was too mean for calling him pathetic because they thought I actually meant it.
We lost a patron.
Yep.
Wow.
That's crazy.
They're like, Jesse's too mean for going after Nick, at which point Nick just started laughing when I told him, it was like, people really that parasocial side, it's good to get people pulled in and feel like they're part of a community, but then they also sometimes maybe read a little too much into it, because how else would you know unless I explain now? Nick knows I did not mean it, and he was not offended.
Okay.
I called him much worse in person. Final one for either a tie, and I got to do more, or I've got to quickly give a win to John as long as he can get it. It's going to be Empty Jon Snow's. I reviewed this game, I believe, a long time, a couple years ago. I just played their next game too. Ursel.
Void Bastards.
We're tied.
Boom! Wow! Let's go.
That was good.
Let's go.
Oreo, get the fuck away from my computer.
I still remember that game because friggin' Zahuge leaked it like 30 minutes before they revealed it in some Inside Xbox, whatever the show was.
Those are the shitty days. It's like, where do you benefit from? Okay, let me go find a really old name of game. Because
let's do Leviathan Trips again. I can't believe
name a game from July 6th.
Neither me or Nick got it. Like it was, I felt so terrible.
I got a dumb one on there.
Either way,
To be honest, if I've lost, I've only let down more.
So mean. Here we go. I pulled a really stupid one from the July 6th episode.
What the F?
Pentagonal evenings at a man who was fingered defense puncture. 6 words. Sick.
Fuck.
Damn it!
Starting the timer.
For me?
Five
10,
Nights at Freddy's.
8, 7,
fuck.
6, 5,
Actually, I don't know
4,
these words either.
3, 2,
just get it.
1. Ursel for the steal.
I don't know. Fuck.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five,
Something break. Something break.
4.
Give me a sec. I need the other one.
I'm not
Five Nights
going
at Freddy's.
All right,
Something
starting the
break.
timer at 9, 8,
okay.
7, 6, 5, 4,
Five Nights at
3,
Freddy's Prison Break.
2, no.
What
Security breach.
Security breach.
All right, let me find another one.
And another. I mean, Nick, Jesse.
Jesus Christ, give me a little bit of time. I got to find yet another one for you two. I keep everything as a Word document, so I still got them all. Oh my God, I've got so many. What's a really old one? Name a Game, episode 10 from 2022.
Yo, I was doing Fifth Night at first. I'm like, what the hell is this?
God, these are so much easier. What was I doing? I had Flawless Unlit for Perfect Dark on that one. I had Restored for Replaced. Remember that? Jesus, that one's that old. All right, I got to find something else. Those are way too easy. You guys don't deserve easy.
And you can play for me.
My God, I've written so much. I have 500 things in my Xbox era folder. Fuck me.
You know what? You know what you should do,
right.
John? Or like the end of the year show, the person who's won the most naming games should go up against Jesse, and the third person makes them. That'd be cool. Because he's never played, right?
I've played.
I'm absolutely trouncing Nick
In my brain.
this year. Like,
All
and
right.
he's got to buy me a game.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to buy me a game. So
That'd be a fun little thing. Chat, I can't see you right now because I'm not cheating.
All
Let
right.
me know what you guys think.
Here's this one. Conclusive creativity. What's in the box? Movie. Emergency essence. So, 3 letters to begin.
What?
2 letters and a number to begin. Then 2 words.
2 letters.
Conclusive creativity. What's in the box? Movie.
You mean?
It is 2 letters and a number.
You mean 2
colon?
words?
No, it is 2 letters. Well, I mean, yeah, it can be 2 words. 2 words and a number. Colon. Other words. John. Starting the timer.
Final Fantasy 7.
8, 7, 6.
Crisis Core.
Correct.
All right.
It's in the box.
See, I knew it was Fantasy 7 right away, but then the 2 letters kind of threw me off a little. FF.
And Second Mechanica was 1.
And Jesse just saying, the movie there made it seem like that was another word. That kind of threw me off.
Because he was saying it's the What's in a Box movie.
Yeah, but I thought it was just what's in the box. So I'm like, okay,
That's
7.
not my fault.
And then what's the word for movie?
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
is your
Paul
fault.
Workman blames his tools, my friend.
Yeah, that is your,
Okay,
that's your
fair.
fault,
Blames
not
his
mine.
tools.
Fair.
Idiot.
That.
How dare you?
Oh.
Now somebody will cancel saying you were mean to Ursula calling him an idiot.
Okay. Back
Okay.
to the
Good.
thing. See, Fantasy 7. Look at Brit. You see Brit's chat? That was my thought process, and I was very confused for a little bit because I'm like, that's not Advent Children.
I know it's not an FPS, Kevin. I had to go on to different games. We used up everything I had for this week.
Congratulations to one of our amazing patrons, Mort, who has won a game. Thanks to my love for him.
Barely by like the skin of your teeth.
Oh, I love you guys.
Oh,
All right. To wrap things up, we have I think a
question or 2 left. I think that's
yeah,
it.
we have 2 questions left from the community before we call it a night. It goes back to 1 a.m. and I get a sneaky hour of some Call of Duty in. And those questions are
Just get all those first. It's more Jesse oriented.
yes, one from Skedaddle here who's asked specifically to Jesse. I recently got a Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra. However, on the most recent episode of Headlines, you mentioned having stopped using yours and have gone back to the Xbox Elite Series 2. Which premium controller do you feel is best, and have you tried the Razer Wolverine V3 Pro?
I have not tried the Razer Wolverine. I reviewed the Scuff Instinct Pro, which was good. It's just a regular controller modified. I've got the Turtle Beach still up there. Enjoyed it quite a bit, but I didn't use any of the gimmicks that make it more expensive. But the Hall Effect joysticks are the best for first-person shooters out of all of them. The reason I have gone back to the Elite is the ease of use of these paddles is so much better than either the Scuff Instinct Pro or the Turtle Beach, which are both buttons that you hit with the side. You either click or hit with the side of your finger. And I hate the way that feels. It just does not work well for me.
Yeah.
Build quality's been fine. Using it a ton. Battery life, nowhere near as good as this, but you can just charge it. I turned everything off on the screen and on the lights and all that, and it lasts, 10, 15 hours. They kept saying 20, but I've never gotten close to that. As where with the Elite, I've gotten like 40 before. I have not used the Razer Wolverine. I have asked them for one. I've just never heard back after they said they were going to send it, and then I just haven't heard. So I don't know on that one.
Yeah,
No.
I nearly bought the V3, like just because, but then the delivery time was like a month. I was like, yeah.
I think that's probably why I didn't get one, is because it's so far away.
Yeah, I'm an instant gratification kind of guy, and I need stuff immediately. So I still use my Elite Series 2. I did try a pad at Gamescom year before last that was really good, and I can't even remember the brand now, but it was wireless. It had Hall effects. It was really solid. It had really good paddles on the back. And it was coming out, but I don't think I've seen it release, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, the Turtle Beach is still fine, especially if you play a lot of first-person shooters. Those Hall effects are going to feel the best by far, because you can put the dead zone down to 0 on the right stick, and it is just incredibly snappy.
Skedaddle, I mean, I mentioned it earlier in the chat, but at only like 50, I think, Canadian bucks. Grab a GameSir, give it a shot. It
I've had a
works
lot of
really
good
well on
things.
Xbox. What's interesting is my brother is part of like the amateur crowd for Halo, right? So like they're really in tuned into this. So the point where like they open up the Xbox console and turn off the Y.24 color mapping, which has no effect on anything. It's a mental thing. But then they turn it off and their game plays better. Either way, well, they'll tell me it's not a mental thing, but it's definitely a mental thing. Give that a shot. But what he did is he took the Game Sir and he replaced the joysticks with the joysticks from a regular controller. And he's like, it makes it much better, apparently, because these have more tension, or that has more tension, or something like that. I'd say buy the Game Sir, give it a shot.
I've had a lot of good things about the Game Sir. So, yeah.
The other one's good old Collingwood, I believe.
Yeah. Last question before we wrap things up for the night. Good old Collingwood. It's just talking about using old things because he says, hello, Ursel, John, Jesse. In Australia, at the end of the weekend, all 3G services will be turned off and only phones with 4G voice LTE will be able to use. That means that over 13 years of service, my Microsoft Lumia 640 XL smartphone will no longer be usable for what it was intended for. Wow. I'm so impressed that that's still alive. That being said, what's the oldest piece of tech that you have that you're still using to this day? Damn. Oldest piece of tech. Oldest piece of tech that I'm still using? Shit.
My TV. My TV is about 7 years old.
That
TCL right over there.
I don't know. I don't think I've got anything super old tech-wise left. Meow meow. Hey, puss puss. Props for the Windows Phone, but I can't think of the oldest piece of tech I've used.
I was gonna say like.
He's always in that fucking box. We buy him nice things all the time. He's just on a box on top of 2 boxes.
Yeah,
that's where he's almost all day.
If I fits, I sits.
I got it. I don't have it on me right now, but my GameCube controller, like the OG ones.
Do I count that as tech? Because yes, I've got old GameCube controllers that I use for Smash, but
I think those count.
They are tech.
Yeah. Other than that, I have like a ton of super old laptops that we repair and sell, like IGN ThinkPads. Not IGN, sorry, IBM ThinkPads.
I know IGN's into a lot of stuff, but
acquisitions galore. I think the only other oldest thing is I've got my very old work monitor here. It's a Dell monitor, like a 27-inch, and I've got it standing portrait. And I got that in 2018 from my company that I used to work for. And when I handed my notice in this year and said, "Hi, I'm going to go now and do Xbox Era," I said, "Do you want your work laptop and monitor back and the dock?" And they went, "No, keep it. It's easier and cheaper for us than bothering with shipping." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I've got an old work laptop that they wiped and removed the BitLocker encryption from, and they let me keep the monitor. So I guess that's the oldest piece.
Is this thing that old? Probably not. I've used.
Do you still use it?
No, I've used it like twice, but it is right next to me all the time. 3DS, like I should have.
I've got my TV's from 2016. Other than that, it would probably be the Switch, which gets used occasionally.
Ooh,
it's a launch Switch from 2017.
Right, this one counts as technology. I drive a car from 2006. Boom, there we go.
Nice.
That counts.
Our car, my cat and I's car, because I own stock in it. I own like 50% of the car.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I just had to fork out like 600 quid today for tires. Enough. That is a 52 plate, so that's 2002.
Damn.
So there you go. That's the oldest piece of tech.
All you got to know, guys, is the windows are not powered.
Yeah, in the rear.
Okay, fine. In the rear. Those are the windows I had access to. All right.
I always sat in the front because I was too big for the rear.
In fact, 2 out of the 3 cars I went to in the UK had non-powered windows in the back seats.
Yeah, it's a pretty depressing place.
I miss it, to be honest. I like it. It's like a workout. Yeah, that counts. Cars count.
Sure.
I have a motherboard from like 1990 sitting in my garage somewhere. I don't use it, but
my dad found my BBC Micro up in the loft at his house. He also they're going through their loft, getting it like ready. There is somewhere in my loft from 1993 to 1995. Somewhere up in that loft is a massive tub of Pokemon cards.
Oh, dang.
Of varying varieties, all opened and just in there. But I'm like, I wonder how much, like, if they find that, how much are all of those worth?
Nothing.
Yeah, probably a fair bit. No, some of them.
They made
probably
18 quadrillion of them. So
Mate,
probably
these are
assume
like 40
nothing.
Years old.
Assume
Yeah, I know,
nothing,
I'm just
but
like-
you might get some good ones in there.
You know, I have a Dreamcast sitting in my attic somewhere that I told Genghis I'd send over to him when I found the controller and the wires. I never found the controller and the wires. That counts. That's it.
There you go. That is all of the community questions, and ergo, the end of the show. If you want to carry on chit-chatting, I'm going to hop on and play some Call of Duty for like an hour, probably.
Mm.
If you fancy it. Fancy it, Soul? Can you?
Oh, Call of Duty?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
play
I got to
some
turn off this friggin' migraine-inducing light first. Maybe grab a quick snack. I'm down, yeah.
But for anyone still around, we got a big thing next week. All
Yes, we have.
Saturday, is from the moment I get up until the moment I go to sleep, we'll be doing our 4th annual Xbox Era Extra Life live stream. Already hit half of our goal. So I've got like 20 giveaways I'm going to be doing during the stream or after. Probably mostly through
When
the
are you going
Discord.
live? On Saturday?
Whenever I wake up and feel good about it, so probably
9,
11,
okay,
10 to 12, probably somewhere around there, Eastern
Okay.
US. So
I can definitely join in at like 4 or 5 if you're playing co-op games. Let me know.
okay.
Yeah, I think there was some conversation about doing Outlast Trials,
Oh, yeah. That's a 4-player game, right?
a 4-player horror game.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's also
It
got a
is
lot of
weak. It is-
nudity
it
and
is-
ton of gore, which is like when you're doing a charity stream. I'm trying to keep it a little more PC.
Well,
Ah.
listen, if we wanted to play a 4-player co-op game, Phasmophobia is out by then, isn't it?
COD Zombies is out by then.
That too.
Mhm.
That too.
But we have to buy
So-
Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Not doing that. I got 2 codes. They both went to Proven for him to maybe do coverage. I don't know. But yeah, there'll be a lot of stuff. It should be a lot of fun. I've got a bajillion things I'm going to be giving away, and the more donations we get, the more I'll try and do. Our goal is $1,000, but last year we get 1,700. Maybe we can beat it. We'll see.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be good to do. Obviously, as well as that awesome stream, we'll have the podcast as normal. We'll have headlines as
A
normal.
fuck ton of reviews and previews, including Dragon Age on Monday and Indie on Tuesday.
Yeah, there's a lot coming, all for you to enjoy because we love you, Xbox Era Patreon and YouTube community. You guys rock. Thanks everybody for hanging out and chit chatting and having a laugh. If you're going to
one
come and
sec.
play,
Last thing, sorry, John, really quick, is you had an update on the Kickstarter this week, right?
I did put an update out on the Kickstarter this week. Yes, the surveys should go out tomorrow.
Okay, nice.
Prototypes are finalizing and in production. And we're on target to ship in Q1 2025. It's all go, baby.
Yeah.
We are. I'll reveal it in the survey. There is some surprises as well. We've gone above and beyond because of how successful the campaign was.
Hmm.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the final hold it in my hands product. It's super, like, I can't wait. I've been playing it a bunch and it's such a fucking fun game. I can't wait to see it in more people's hands. Yeah, it's good times. Thanks for the reminder. That's all.
No worries.
If you want to come and play some Call of Duty, jump into the Xbox Era Community Discord now-ish and come and squad up, bitches. Let's go. If not, we'll see you on Tuesday for headlines and in the premiere for the Dragon Age review on Monday.
Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, US.
And we love you very much. Other words, thank you, Ursula, for standing in, Jesse, for your
Thanks for being
company
today.
as always. And to you lot, we simply say ciao for now.